here for the Lead World Championship. And it is time for the semi-final. And that is our enormous lead route we can see. We've been talking about it for a while. 40 meters long, 17 meters high, and 2 routes there. My name is Matt Groom, and I am joined once again by May in the commentary box. May, look, people might have missed you the other day. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm May Nagasako from Japan. I am a route setter currently living in Korea. And this is my third time commentating with Matt.
And you are fantastic at it. So we are looking forward to getting underway. 18 degrees, 62% humidity. And the audience have been filtering in all morning. Kind of slow start to the day. We're coming up to 1 p.m. not Central European time, Korean time. I forgot where I was in the world there. And yeah, very excited to be here watching all of the action. And mate, we've had a look at these 2 routes, the men's on the left, women's on the right. What do you think of both of them?
Quite simple in terms of movement, in my opinion. But there are a couple moves that we talked about that might be hard because it looked big and powerful. And also the top sequences for both routes look quite tricky with some mantling or pushing actions in it. So I'm pretty excited to see how far and how many athletes can get to that, maybe the top section that we are curious about.
Yes, and it's an interesting wall, this, because it starts steep compared to other lead walls. It's about 50 degrees, pretty much off the ground. Then there's a big head wall, which is not very steep. And I know that's been challenging for the setters, because you don't want the athletes to all fall off down low. But obviously you've got to challenge them. And then at the top, you kind of want them to fall off, but the angle changes, so it's hard to make them go. I mean, as a route setter yourself, can you see those difficulties in a wall like this?
Yeah, I think especially in the lead route, because you want to start relatively kind of easy, but hard enough for them to get pumped so that they don't have enough.
The cut as well, which is going to please this crowd here. And Czech Republic feature, Michaela Smetanova getting into the top 10. And as we look at the top 10, Sarah Chopper, well, we haven't got Janja Garnbret here, but we do have some strong Slovenians. Sarah Chopper and Mia Krampel making it. And Jae Kim, so cool to see her back in her home World Cup. I'm going to say an out...
It turned into one of the exercises they can do as, like, casually at climbing gyms. And then they also have a lot of local comps, not on lead, because they don't really have a lead wall besides like this place. But they really try to get like normal people into competition scene so that maybe the culture itself for the climbing can grow a little bit more as competitive sport.
Yeah, I mean, by my hotel, I think there's like 5 climbing gyms all within a mile radius that I've been to most, I will be honest. Giant Tiger there, you can see down at the bottom left. That's one of our sponsors. Trango, of course, the other main sponsor. And we have a video featuring the product designer from Trango coming on the World Climbing Club, which is a free-to-watch YouTube show. And yesterday's show involved what the athletes listen to when they warm up. There were some interesting choices, including Metallica at 10 a.m. in the morning, which I was a bit shocked by, but fair enough. Okay, 2 first athletes out. Oscar Baudrin from Canada, Camilla Moroni from Italy. And Camilla is another one of those who is more of a boulderer, you know, silver medal world champion, and yet recently, and as the Olympic process has developed, she's got much better on the lead road.
I think Oscar and Camilla both missed out on semifinals in bouldering a couple of days ago.
Yeah, good point. Camilla especially, I would have thought she would have made it through, but she didn't.
I think she was only a few spots away, and Oscar also climbed well, and then it still wasn't enough for him to squeeze himself into semi-finals. So I'm excited to see the performance in lead wall today.
Me too, and Oscar was screaming his way up the quali route. I could hear the power screams.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was way back in the stadium. I heard that man shouting. He was 21st in Boulder, so yes, he was outside of the semis just by 1 place. At the moment, looking good. So Camilla's on the 55-degree section, and we both... Oh, wow, a fig 4 there in the middle. I didn't see that. That's cool. Figure 4 when you put your leg over your arm in order to make the next move.
We didn't see that toe either for Oscar.
Yeah, he's got that big toe hook in. It's less steep for Oscar. And I think the men's is more of a resistance style route. But there's a tricky move coming here. We think there's going to be a heel. He gets the right heel. And then you saw that with the right hand.
And the cross. And then a bit of complicated section starts right after this.
Yeah, both athletes quickly getting up towards the halfway point, which is what we expected. But I think for both of them, the crux is, or the harder part of the wall is coming now.
Yeah, especially for men, I think it starts now from like turning yellow and purple to red holds.
Yeah, because that right foot, the volume he briefly put his foot on is not very good, the angle of it.
And the other side is Durotax, so you can't really stop on it either.
No, so Oscar will shake for a moment. Camilla Moroni as well, as she starts to approach the harder section of this women's route as she comes up.
And for women, I think crimpy section starts just now with quite simple sequence, but all the crimps looks kind of like open hand, so you can't really grab hard into it.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of pinchy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Either side of the volumes here, and there's 3 in a row. She makes those nicely. Right foot drilled in as she comes up again, and Oscar starts to traverse.
And I believe it's like another toe hook move here.
Oh, yes.
That was a good catch for him.
Camilla falls, and Oscar falls. Well, there we go. 2 athletes done. I was about to say, if you are watching us from Europe, congratulations. I think it's like 6 a.m. there. So you are a true fan if you're hearing our voices live. You can't send us a message. Maybe drop us an Instagram. In fact, May, could you tell us your Instagram so people can find you?
It's MN1516. I've got some followers from probably watching the live stream on Bouldering, so thank you so much.
That's cool. And if you want to book May for route setting duties, she's available throughout the world. Very experienced. And has that Japanese style, of course. And we were talking about that.
I honestly don't really know what the Japanese style is like, because when I am in Japan, they ask me to set American style, because I used to live in Canada. And if I go to anywhere else, but not in Japan, they're like, hey, can you set Japanese style? And I'm like,
Shall I tell you what I think Japanese style is? I think it's short routes, very weird and techy, usually with enormous jumps somewhere in them. Like whenever I go to a Japanese climbing gym, it's like the roof is low, I'm doing lots of moves, and yeah, there's usually a jump in there somewhere.
That sounds about right.
And I usually fall off. Very easy climbs. But
yeah, I think Japanese climbing contain a lot of like uncomfortable body positioning with really bad hand and really, really bad feet.
Yes.
And that I would say the foothold sizes are the big difference between Japan and the rest of the world, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like I've hit my knee falling off Japanese boulder routes more than in any place in the world. But then coming to Korea, I've found it's way more dynamic. Even on slabs, you know, there's dynamic slabs, and I'm sticking coordination toes in all over the place. It's fascinating. Right, Osh McKenzie comes on. She's supported by 2 sisters. I'm not sure both are here in Korea, but certainly one is, and they've travelled the world with her. We've got a lovely little interview on the climbing club in Prague with those 2. And then Giorgio Tomatis will come on. There's our belay team. There is Giorgio. Looking forward to see what Osh has got up her sleeve for today's competition.
She's also got a lot better in lead shape as well, right?
Yeah, like quite recently as well. She was 4th in copper, and it surprised me. You know, I'd expect her to make semi-finals, sure, but to do that well in the finals is super impressive. I think she surprised herself. And then she went and got a bronze medal, her first ever medal in Prague, so she's on form, but she did miss out on the podium for the boulder, came 7th. She doesn't do the fig 4, but she does get a high left foot.
I'd be curious to see what shorter athletes in the semifinal would do in that section. Maybe they choose the figure 4, like Camilla did.
Yeah, and I wonder if they read that, or whether she just did it. Ooh, now Giorgio is trying to stretch up to that toe hook we saw Oscar do, and he doesn't like it, and he's in a bit of trouble here. He's got to commit to one of these options. And that right heel is not on a good hold, but it has worked for him. Georgia was 23rd in copper in his last World Cup comp. Doesn't look as comfortable as Oscar did at the moment.
It's still hard to tell for me how much he has left in his tank.
He's quite low down still at the moment, not quite at the halfway point yet. Osh climbing pretty quick, which is what we sort of expect from her. She's still got that sort of Boulder mentality occasionally. It's like, just go fast.
It is efficient though for them to climb faster, so that they have shorter time holding onto a hold. So they have to squeeze less. So I think it's quite smart for like mainly borderer to try to climb faster than like elite climber when they can control their own pace, and they have maybe a little bit more in the tank for elite climbing.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you. I think as long as you don't rush it too much. And also, we have seen lead routes get a bit more bouldery as well. You know,
recently there's been quite more of a jump, or like a foot swing, or a lot more moves that we often see on bordering to be on elite route.
Yeah, I would agree. So Giorgio Tomatis falls in pretty much the same place as Oscar went. Looked like he just literally couldn't hold on anymore. It was one of those, just nope, that's not going to work. Osh has found a sort of a rest here. She approaches the big angle change on this wall. Now, the top half of the women's route, I certainly kind of gave up reading because I really don't know how you get through that sequence. There's no text holds at the very top. And I think the setters are expecting to make most of their separation up there on the head wall. There's a big move coming up here. Now, there's a left hand and then there's a right hand, which when we saw it, I said, no, that's a foothold.
It does look like a foothold with how Oshi was trying to hold it.
And she's certainly only going to use it as an intermediate. It's just sort of like hold and go, and she makes a slap.
That was a good stick for her.
Oh, she falls after that. A big fall, plummeting back down to the ground. Yes, it's like, it's not a hold that you can really pull on, I don't think. It's just one to shift your body position.
To get your upper body a little bit higher than having it like lower on the previous hold.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially the next hold seemed quite slopey, so you want to keep your upper body as high as possible when you reach that hold to get your feet higher up sooner.
Yeah, well, our camera's frozen there, but now we can see Giorgio rotating through, getting that right foot on.
He does look already pumped passing this purple section here. Maybe that toe hook method that you were talking about, he was struggling.
I think he was. I think when you make that much indecision like that, it's tricky because you sort of, you think, do I go right, do I go left? It starts to burn your arms. It also gets in your head. Did well to recover, though, after that. And this was Osh crossing the first of the angle changes. Second angle change, got it. But it was a good start. We'll have to wait and see for Osh. We know how strong she is. And there is the crowd. It's quite cold here today.
It is. It was kind of hot yesterday. Now it is quite cold. I was shivering this morning.
Yeah, winter is coming, unfortunately. Not a fan of winter. I just don't like being cold, I'll be honest. And I do the ice climbing season, so I'm a fool.
Are you looking forward to that, though?
I am indeed, of course. I mean, I just can't talk about climbing enough. All right, Jonas Utelli underway, and then we just saw Juliet Fisser. Julia was in the commentary box in copper with me. First time she was doing that. Really great to have her. Right, both athletes now underway as we ease our way through this semi-final. And the final will take place tonight at, I've got no idea when it takes, at 8 p.m? I think it's 8 p.m.
Let me check the schedule. Yeah, it does say it starts from 8 p.m.
Okay, so we'll be with you from 7:55. All right, Julia swinging around here, locking into that left hand, but it was a bit of a wild start from her. Nice clips now down low. Team Austria, Jessie Pilz in second place for this semi-final. I know how hard Julia has been training recently. She's looking strong.
He chose pretty dynamic method to get through there.
He did, didn't he? And so's Julia. Both of these athletes' legs are flying wildly.
Julia has been quite dynamic in that section over there, and then it's kind of shame that people can't really see how steep it actually is with how close up it is. Maybe not, they can.
Yeah, it's always hard to tell, isn't it? Have a look at the quick draws. You can see them hanging. It's 55 degrees, which is one of the steepest angles we can kind of have on a lead wall at this level.
I talked to one of the Korean athletes who usually climbs here for lead training the other day, and he's like, you can only have jugs or jugs in that.
Yeah, I had a similar thing. Because they don't want everyone falling off down low, but it's so steep. It's a challenging one. Now, Jonas is really battling here. Those elbows are going up as he elevator door style presses. Look at the adjustments he's making. This is going to be burning him so much, and he does fall. He was in real trouble there.
That section looked quite uncomfortable.
Oh, he might have had a bit of an injury there as well, so we hope he's okay. Holding at the bottom of that knee. Julia still going into the pinches now. Or through the pinches anyway, into these side pulls now.
I wonder if she used a bit too much power in the overhanging section, because her feet was cut quite often.
Yes, you're right. And I think this route just builds in intensity. I think it's about sort of power management down low. I think everyone in this field should be able to get through that section, but it depends on how you get section, how much you've got left after it. And both of them were really wild. Look at that big move from Jonas. And Julia didn't go for the foot like Osh did. She didn't go for the fig four. She kind of launched across, and that might have cost her a bit.
That's how I read the route, though.
You would have campused through that section.
I looked at it and I thought about figure four, but I've never been able to do figure four in my entire life yet, in 20 years of my climbing experience. So
that sounds like a challenge, babe. We've got a fig four, you know. Yeah, figure fours, we're talking about it a lot. It's a move that was originally a rock climbing move, and the ice climbers kind of took it over, and now it's coming back into comp climbing a bit.
Both Korean athletes coming out.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd there getting behind their hometown heroes. Cho Gaeong. Or Gaeong? How do I say it? Gaeong. I'm saying it in a French accent there, I don't know why.
That was more of an English accent, I think.
Do you reckon? I am very posh. Campusing up at the beginning anyway. Nice smooth moves from him as he gets his semi-final underway here. Now we've got 26 athletes in a semi-final, a cleaning break in the middle. Choke here. She starts off her route as well. Is there a lot of... Do you know much about the... Because you live in Seoul now. Do you know much about the Korean team in the same way as you are with the Japanese team?
Nope. I am really close with Chan. So I know, like, talking a little bit. We just say hi to each other if we see each other. But we don't have, like, a deep talk about, like, how they performed. I do with Chan all the time. I was quite surprised when he topped the slab in bouldering.
I was too. It's great to see, though. Oh, look at this. She was a bit wild. She got the feet on, but then popped them off.
I wondered if that was a bit of kind of waste of the endurance for her.
I'm not sure there is a super efficient way through that section.
Figure four looked quite decent.
I think you've got to burn a bit. Like, you have to make the decision to sort of power through a little bit. Shin Young reaches up above his head, makes that clip now. going to look for either a toe or a heel or nothing, just campuses.
The right hand doesn't look really good though.
No, he's a bit hesitant, isn't he? Making lots of foot movements, that arm a bit bent as he sets himself for the undercling.
And this was the big move that you thought it was kind of going to be hard for them.
Yeah, I thought so, but I always struggle to see distance when I'm looking up at a lead wall. I know that sounds ridiculous, but what I mean is like things look further away to me than they actually are.
I mean, that's why they have, what is it called, microscope?
Mm-hmm. Binoculars.
Huh?
Binoculars.
I don't think I can pronounce that right away. Let me have some time to practice.
You gave me a look then, which is just like, what have you just said? Yeah, binoculars, the things they use on the ground to look up at the wall so they can spot. It just magnifies. So, Shin Yun now, he's kind of recovered, but he's on some pretty nasty crimps shaking out. Peach is now on the right. It's in a heel. Gets this clip sorted out. I think Yun's in some trouble here.
They both kind of look
Yeah, something so too.
Maybe he recovered a little bit going back to the crimp. That was kind of smart. I was a little bit worried about it because his elbow is quite up.
This section, I think, is really physical. It just steps things up a notch. Goes on the right. So that, I think, is going to leave her outside of a finals place. And she has just, yeah, big deep breath as she hit the ground again. He's done pretty well here, but this next move is sort of cruxy, I think. There's a tiny jib he sees with the right foot. He's looking all right. That's a high point.
Now Oscar got a little bit higher.
Oh, did
He's
he?
got here, and he matched her, and he couldn't get the next one, if I remember correctly.
Yes, no, I think you are right. He's shaking out on every move here.
That's also...
That section just comes at you suddenly, doesn't it? Just sneaks up on you, the pump.
Personally, that was really great recovery of him. In like right before he went past that purple section, and I kind of like how root setting is like a different difficulty as the color changes.
I like that too, yes, and it's pretty deliberate by the setters, and it not only does it allow you watching at home to know where the athletes are on the route, because you can kind of lose yourself when they're this tight, but yes, I think to the athletes, they know that something is going to change when the color changes.
Yeah, and it's usually, I've been in the lead setting team for the World Cup just once, but it's usually, for me, it was a combined, so it was a point system. So every point changes, we had the color change as well, so that it's easier for judges to see, and it's easier for like athletes to read the route as well.
Yeah. I see a bit of disappointment from her, but this was good. Went for the points. I think we'll get awarded that. Yeah, we hopefully will show you a leaderboard at some point, but you can follow along on the IFSC app, which is free to download. And if you are just joining us, good morning if you're in Europe. Good afternoon if you're somewhere in Asia. We're here for the men and women's semi-finals. And there is someone you know pretty well, Futaba Ito out on the stage, and then Masahiro Higuchi on the left. Now, Futaba, not always loving a lead route.
No, she is from a small spray wall bouldering gym. So she specifies herself as a boulder climber.
And she's been quite vocal on Instagram. She was talking about how, you know, after the OQS and not qualifying, that she just wasn't that into comp climbing, needed to walk away a bit and reset. From talking to her, do you think she has done that? Like, has she got her psyche back for comp climbing?
Slowly but surely, I think. She took her time, and then she's still taking her time until the next season starts. But for her, not only for her, but for a lot of people who prepare for Olympics or OQIs, it was really mentally really hard and long season for them because it was never ending.
And also she was up against her teammates. You know, she was directly fighting Miho Nanaka for a place, for example, and that's got to be tough.
Yeah, she said she was happy to be competing against Miho for a spot because they are really good friends to start with. But like as much as she's happy for Miho to make it to Olympics, like I can't really imagine how heartbreaking it was for her
she
to
wants
miss
to
the spot
play,
by
so,
a few spots.
Yeah, you can be as much friends as you want, but the Olympics is the Olympics at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And she looked very impressive with the bottom of this route. No drama so far. Rocking up on that right heel as well. Well, Masahiro Higuchi. Oh, elbows are coming up on this move as he crosses through.
From what I know, he has a bit more left after his elbow starts to go up. Because he's like very much a lead climber.
So he can recover and sort of get something back, even though he looks pumped.
I don't think he's pumped yet.
Really?
In my opinion.
That elbow, I was like, oh, he's gone.
He might have been doing it on purpose so that he doesn't have to press and grip really hard onto the open hand grip. I've seen some people do that before in elite climbs.
Interesting. Could you tell him not to? Because it really confuses me. It's just not fair.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's super pumped already. But from what I remember, because I've known him for a while as well.
Well, we'll never know, I guess. You could run down and ask him, just be like, look, I know you're recovering here, but were you pumped? But whatever, he has fallen off. But Futaba Ito is looking... Oh, no, she's not. As I said it, the foot popped.
They both looked like they had more to go.
Yeah, she's super disappointed with that. I think she was potentially on for a really good score there. Let's have another look at this again. So this is Masahiro Higuchi, who... This is coming up to the point where I thought he was pumped. Which was, he was flicking through, all good through here. It was the next section on the crimps.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe he was already pumped.
It's impossible, mate. You're never wrong. And Futaba Ito reached up. This was dead down low. I thought she looked really good on this section. Just swinging those legs, committing to the moves. I want to see the foot pop.
You want to see the foot pop?
Well, I want to see what happened. This was lower.
I think she was trying to engage some of her body weight onto the right foot, and it slipped out.
Well, that was it. Well, she didn't have the right foot on anything. I think she was just on the sloper.
Then she had it on the crimp that was like right below on the volume, and then maybe she just had it a little bit too out, because I think that crimp is like half the vortex.
Okay.
I saw it right, but it was way too far, so maybe.
Yeah. So a bit of a mistake from her, perhaps, and I think that's going to, well, yeah, it's going to leave her outside of that finals place. Okay, next up, Max Berton, who is on the hunt for his first ever World Cup podium, and it's a pretty outrageous thing for me to say that, because it's his first ever season. Came fourth in Brianç on his first ever World Cup, so he is challenging, and then Rosa Reka, another youngster from Slovenia, who's done very well on the youth circuit, especially recently. Max, super fun climber. He's. I asked him the other day in Copper, I was like, do you get like intimidated by this? He's like, no, I'm just having fun. And you can see that with Max. You know, he's in his first season, there's no expectations on him, even though we know how good he is. And Rosa, in the FISU, which is the University Championships, she was third, but the really big one for her was the gold medal in lead at the Youth World Champs in China this year. She's one to watch out for, as is this man. It's a little bit more humid today as well, the conditions. Like there's lots of clouds overhead.
I hope it doesn't rain later today, but I haven't checked for the forecast.
Me too, hopefully not. There is a big old roof though, so the athletes will be protected. And we're in a tent, so it's just the audience. We don't care.
Ooh.
Going to get killed now after this competition. All right, Max goes up onto the pinch now, makes the clip. Rosa swings those legs through, no issues from her on that initial steep section of the wall. She's approaching the end of it now. Max goes for a high heel. Good work from Max so far. He's looking comfortable. Rosa clips and then sits back down. And those holds beneath it. And we'll chalk up once more. Do you know that pocket hold that she's in with the right hand?
Isn't it 360?
Is it any good, that pocket?
It has a wide range, so there are a few that are good, and if you turn it in a different angle, it gets a little worse. But from this angle, it looks decent, especially on top of a cheetah. Volume to change the profile.
It's kind of stacked up, isn't it? Now Max, this is where he has to fight hard here. Comes in with the left hand. Now onto the slopers and the pinches. The business end of this route starting, and a long way to go on the men's route. You haven't seen anyone getting towards the head wall yet.
Oh no, that.
Oh.
She lost it.
That's your analysis. He fell off. Yeah, we'll see a replay in a sec. Max is down.
I wonder if there's anything to do with such a big weather change, because it was kind of hot yesterday, and it seems like they look a little more tired, or they look like their feet or something is going wrong in their performances for the past few climbers for both women and men. So I'm wondering if maybe they are tired from
yesterday. Yeah, the thing is, Max didn't compete in Boulder, so he's just a lead specialist. So, yeah, I mean, I know what you mean, but I'd be surprised if he was that tired. Maybe it is this humidity thing we were talking about. Maybe it's just a little bit sweatier today. Because the setters would have set this last night where it was cold and crisp. Well, not set it. They've set it obviously way before that, but they've been forerunning it last night. So Rosa's doing very well, though. She is just approaching the head wall here, shaking out with that right heel on. And this is smart from her, because without a doubt, this is where the women's route really begins to ramp it up.
It looks like if she doesn't have any foot slips or hand slips, she might make the highest point that we missed. Oh, she
hits the sloper. It's great from her. But you can see something in the body here. Start to realise that she's got to fight now.
Still stuck with another one. And there goes a crimp that we couldn't see when we were trying to
read it, yes.
Yeah.
I said the feet are good, so I bet the holds are bad. And yes, it is. That's a nasty side pull block crimp there to pull through. But I'm pretty sure that's the high point.
With 20 more people to go.
Let's have another look at Max Bertolli. Comes right, swings the legs around. I want to see where he fell off. I kind of glanced down and missed this. So
he had a drop knee to clip, and then he let go of a drop knee, and then left hand got kind of like slippery. Oh no.
Yes, hello. We aren't in control of the replays, I'm afraid. With the sloper, and this is Rosa falling down near the top, but I think pretty near the high point. And Max, let's see exactly what happened here. He crossed through, flick of the legs. Oh, wow. I think it was just a bit wild with the leg. Kind of kicked himself off the route.
But also, it's the left hand that is probably worse than what we thought it would be.
Okay, next two athletes are out on the stage. We've got Hubin Min and Camilla Pouget from France as they enter the arena.
Representing Republic of Korea, Min Hyun-bin. Republic of France, representing France, Camilla Pouget.
Right, athletes underway. Camille Pouget putting that right foot up, making the clips down low, and this is where it just launches into a really steep section, just straight off the ground.
2 moves in, and you're onto a 50-degree wall.
pretty savage way to start things off, isn't it?
Hyunbin is also another legendary lead climber for Korean male athletes. He's also not tall, if I remember correctly. I've seen him in person just only a couple times. But
Yeah, I'll check his exact height, 'cause I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'll have a little look. And that height, do you think it would make a difference on a route like this? Do you think it's quite spanny?
for this route, no, because we had a hard time with whether the purple one on the left was women or the yellow and the blue one on the right was men. So you're like, which do you think is men and women?
Yeah, I usually get that wrong whenever I guess. I think I got it right today. 162 centimetres, that's how tall he is. Camille launches into the right hand. Comes into the pocket now. Yes, I'm not sure we are, by the way, getting any graphics on our screen, so apologies if you're seeing leaderboards and we're not. But we'll try to sort that out. So Camille is easily through this 55. Now into the angle change as she just sits on the heel. There we go, got some graphics coming through. And, for the men's 32 plus is the high point. Oscar Baudrin doing well, first athlete out. And Hyun Min looks a little pumped at the moment as he shakes out that right hand.
Yeah.
Oh, Camille's struggling there to get the toe in. She launches that pinch. So she's into the pinchy section. Hyun Min launches right as well, so he rests on that right hand, crosses into the big red holds now. Oh, catches the right as well.
To me, that move kind of looks borderline.
Does, and he's struggling, both athletes struggling, both fall head in hands here.
So it seems like that Gaston and whatever the 25 plus is for.
That's a skid of chalk there, it was like a plane landing. Yeah, the Gastons.
Yeah, Gaston's for men, and then wherever the 25 plus is for women are the cracks that we might see a lot of people fall in the semifinal round today.
Yeah, well, she was really having to fight through that section. Blocked footholds as well, and that was where Futaba Ito felt. Yeah, Hyun Min just didn't ever look entirely settled. He looked tired to me as well.
Yeah. He looked like his body was quite far out from the wall for the most of the time. I wonder if he lost flow to start with. And he couldn't quite get back himself into the wall to continue the rest of the route.
Yeah. Any idea what that sign says?
Kata, which means like, come on, in Korean.
What was the sign, by the way, you were holding the other day?
It said, Miho, Gamba, and we had Sota and Meichi.
Right.
But we only were going to make ones for Miho, and we were like, but Meichi and Sota, and why don't we make ones for them too? So we put it on the back of Miho Gamba sign.
Awesome. Right, Mattia Pozzi is out. Mototaka Ishizi as well from Japan. Right, Mattia Pozzi is the lady who I am endlessly impressed with at the moment because she is having an epic lead season. Since Innsbruck, she's just stepped things up a notch. And every time I think she's in trouble, like in Briançon, she fell off the quali route on a low jump. She was gone, out of the running. She came back. And she's just such a good climber right now and really seems to be enjoying it. She was 7th in Copper, 6th in Vila, 3rd in Briançon, 6th in Chamonix. It's just unbelievable. Really consistent climbing for
Great
her.
season for her.
Yeah, it's a step up, and she's doesn't boulder in terms of competitions, so this is her main focus.
I think for Mototaka too, it's lead is his main discipline. I've seen him on Japanese, like Japan national qualification round for bouldering, but I don't know if he has participated in Japan nationals for bouldering before.
Mattia is through, had to unleash a bit of power there, and it is starting to rain just a little bit out in the stadium, so it definitely is humid. Conditions changing here. Mattia goes up with the left hand, locks it off, and then fires in. She's having to really power through some of these sections. Mototaka only just gets that left hand.
He's also one of the shortest competitors to climb in the semifinal, I believe. I've only started seeing his name a couple years.
You can see that height actually. He's really struggling to get the feet down into position.
Yeah. Kind of similar to Hyunbin, who just climbed before him.
Yeah. Maybe it is a bit reachy this, and he sort of smiles down. So Mattia Pozzi, I'm not sure, I can't work it out. She is a fighter, so I don't know if she's fighting and she's okay, or she's fighting and she's in trouble.
You can't really tell from how she looks on the wall.
Honestly, she just never seems to give up. You know, she's one of them, so it doesn't matter how pumped she is, she still goes. Some athletes I really struggle to. Serato is another one. Whenever he falls off, I'm like, oh, he fell off. I didn't see that at all.
I think it's kind of similar for me with Tomoa. Because Tomoa looks like he's just running onto the wall, and then he just like loses it in a second.
Yeah. As I said, it's very unfair. Come on, athletes. Let us know. Mattia Pozzi tries to find a drop knee in underneath. It's a huge drop knee, but she is having to really struggle. She's low going up towards that white hold.
Bit of an early fall for her.
I don't think that's going to be enough for finals for Mattia, which will break a bit of a streak here for her.
This is where we lost Max.
There are a lot of early falls and surprises going on in this comp, which makes it great for us as spectators, but less good for the athletes. We'll be wanting to fight a little longer. Mattia does not want to leave the stage. Yeah, her streak has been a bit legendary this year, but I'm not sure it's going to continue now. Laser focus though, she found those feet, and she was just low. The foot did go as she went up.
This was a good save for him.
Yeah, he struggled to get the feet in. He wanted to kind of hook the toe underneath, maybe.
Well, I wonder when he fell, I don't know why he didn't choose a toe.
On the right.
Yeah.
Maybe he just thought, you know, I've struggled a few times to get the, you know, the span, and I'm not going to attempt it. It's too dangerous. Serato sign there. It's a very well-made sign.
I like how everyone started to bring signs there.
Lynn van der Meer is coming for the Netherlands, and Philip Schenk for the men. As we reach athlete number 9 on the wall. A lot of the athletes are saying that they are kind of tired at this point. You mentioned it earlier on, it's a very long season this, especially with OQS and Olympics. All right, Lynn didn't have the best round in copper. She was 26th there, so bottom of the semis. And then she did get 3rd place at the European Championships in Villars. And 9th in Briançon, so a bit up and down, but generally kind of top half of semis. Philip campusses his way through the bottom of the route. Not too difficult for the men, even though there's no feet.
I think it would be trickier to have kind of like a balancing start than just a physical strength.
Yeah, balanced start tends to sort of scare the athletes a little bit when they see it. Although you rarely see them fall off it.
But sometimes it happens.
everything can happen. I'm nowhere near to seeing it all yet. Okay, so Lin commits to these quite bad feet on the blue slopers. It looks for a heel underneath as she crosses through. Quick drop, awkwardly lying over the top of the yellow volume. And she'll just readjust it. Interesting, that. Sometimes you can kind of call a technical on that, which it was easy to remove. Philip dropped down a little bit after making that clip. Resting on that right arm there, fingers deep in the pocket as she gets herself set for these stacked volumes, as you can see underneath. She doesn't like the look of that hold, decided to clip from down low. Flick of the feet over to the left as Philip Schenk comes up into this right hand now, locks off that crimp. And we saw elbows go up here before to make a bit of space, but he's seems to be doing the opposite. Straight arms from Philip. Lynch, big drop knee in that pocket. That looks awkward on the knee.
They both look decent so far. They don't look that tired. They look like they have some power left to go through the section that we want to see further and further.
Yeah, it was a nice wide shot to show just how long this wall is. It's enormous. Is it fairly new, this facility?
The lead wall, the speed wall has been here for a while, but the bordering wall was made for just this comp.
And it's a different locate. The World Champs is going to be somewhere else potentially, I think. From what I understand anyway.
I'm not quite sure. You probably know better than that.
Yeah, I think someone mentioned it. We're not in a waterfall arena that we saw last year, which was up in the mountains around Seoul. This is more central here. But yes, I don't think it's going to be the location for the World Champs. It might change. Who knows? No one's going to tell me if it does.
Oh, Philip is about to reach the high point. He gets the next holder, then he'll be placed.
Oh, just yelled it for a second.
What do you think? Would that be a plus, or will he secure the score?
I think it should be a plus for me.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I think it should be a high point for him. And Lin has recognised that this is a tricky sequence here. She's resting before committing to this next move. And seems to have found a good place to rest as well. She's now looking right. You can see the score on the right. 35 plus is the women's high point. Lin is on 28. It's the sloper, so this is going to move her up. She's approaching Tia Potsi. She'll push her further down with that one. We're looking for 8 athletes to move through, but it's very early days in the semi-final, so that leaderboard there gives you an idea of where they're getting to, but don't pay too much attention to it yet. Lin on the foothold, which is a handhold, and falls on the sloper. Well, she had it for a fraction of a second before going. She's super disappointed with that when she has a look back up. Yeah, you can tell. I wonder what went wrong. Well, this was Philip down low, who looked very confident. He's a strong athlete, very good boulderer, and he dealt with the bottom of the route well.
Look at the shaky elbow on the left. I don't know how he managed to do like 3 more moves after that. That is impressive.
Yeah, right. And look at this. Oh, 3 fingers dragging on the hold. I want to see the top of Lin's route, because she rested here so well, recovered. Had it pretty good, you know.
But I guess she lost it. Maybe she was trying to find a better position to hold, and then she lost it after.
The sign game here in Korea is just next level. I love that LA Jane one. It's so cool. Like someone has gone and professionally printed a sign.
I used a dollar store stuff.
The what store?
A dollar store.
Okay. So you handmade yours?
Yeah, in Futaba's hotel room.
Right.
Like an hour before the final started, and then we were rushing into taxi.
I think your method is better than the printed sign. Homemade. Yoshiyuki Gata launches, and we will expect this man just to never really stop. He doesn't really do resting.
Another person to watch, because you might miss him falling.
Yeah. And Michaela Smetanova, great to see her in a semi-final. The Czech team with those really distinctive hair ties that they've worn throughout the season, which is, I think, a new thing for their uniform. Uniform? Is it called a uniform? You know what I mean.
Is it a uniform, or they just started to...
It's part of the team kit. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Japanese team were just talking about some teams don't really have like the pants. They can wear whatever they want. Because Japan team has like a t-shirt and pants, leggings, like all printed with the North Face. But some other countries only have the uniforms on top, but they can wear anything they want on the bottom.
We saw an amazing set of leggings in the women's speed competition.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was Tamara who had that on. It was like lots of faces and a stripy pair of colourful leggings. It was brilliant. Absolutely loved it. Now, Michaela, 27th was her last comp, but that was Boulder. In terms of lead, she was 34th in copper. Just outside of the finals in Vilars as well. Yoshiyuki's struggling a bit with that clip, but he gets it in now. And he's so quickly got this red hold.
I know. I don't know if it's been a minute yet. I bet it is, but...
Powered through here.
Yoshiyuki didn't have the greatest time in bouldering, so I'm hoping he can get as high as he could in lead for the Seoul World Cup.
It'd be awesome if he made a final, wouldn't it?
Maybe that's the key. Get through faster.
Seems to be the way. He's certainly doing
Like,
well.
don't stop moving.
Oh, Michaela Campuses. I'm not sure that was the best method.
But she's making it work.
So far, I wonder if she's just cost herself a bit. Yoshiyuki hits the high point. If wait, will now. Look at this from Yoshiyuki. This is brilliant. Now, we were wondering about this move, and he's only just got that. I think he might have had to do the foot before going up for the hand.
And I think he needed to clip before going up.
Yeah.
But still, that's a high point.
It is, and now he can breathe for the first time in a couple of minutes. That was brilliant. And Michaela as well, she's in a bit of trouble here as she crosses through. Ignoring the clip at the moment, but she'll get the right heel in first. She's down in 10th, Rosa Recca with 35 plus. Hopefully we'll see the men's score as well. I haven't seen that in a while. We've only seen the women's. Gets the foot in and raise that left hand. She misses that side hook. I think she was in trouble from that campus move she did.
Yeah, it looked like she lost a lot of power in that move. But I wonder if that was the only move she saw coming.
Let's have another look at Yoshiyuki. So fast, we've missed half of it. It's just the bottom, who knows? The top was very impressive though. Struggled a bit with this clip, but this section.
He was so fast going through this section.
Yeah. Just full commitment to every move as well. It was like no hesitation, cracked it in. And then this was, no clip, no feet, and he was just too stretched out.
Yeah, but which hole do you think they're going to clip from?
No idea. no idea. What are we going to try to guess? That was Michaela coming down with the right hand. Looking down at the fingers, and you can see how much chalk was not left on her fingers, and there are a couple of dots of rain on the camera. You can see there, so it is drizzling. Do you know that word drizzle? It means light rain in English. Drizzle. Every time I say drizzle to the commentator whose English is not their first language, they look at me like I'm mad, but that's what it means.
I only know drizzle from like caramel frappuccino, but caramel sauce drizzle on top.
Similar idea, it's just like little bits of rain. Yoshiyuki is in top with 36, and then Philip Schenk 33, Shingun Young 32 plus, and down in 8th is Giorgio Tomatis. Just tell you that because it's in the men's scoreboard for a while. Now, Tomoa Takao, tell me a little bit about her, if you know her.
I don't really, to be honest. She has started to be on the scene like quite recently, and it might be her first senior season on the World Cup circuit. But
Yeah.
she's been winning the lead like Youth Japan Nationals. She's been on podium for quite a few times, so I've seen her names, but haven't really talked to her in person.
Yeah, she won the FISU, which is impressive, but she's just 20, and I think she's one of those who is not struggling to break onto the Japanese team, but sort of, you know, it's hard, let's be honest. And I was talking to a coach about this the other day, and especially with the quota change next year, it's very difficult if you are, because there's so many good Japanese athletes all vying for places. Philip Martin. I was watching this man climb in qualification on the route on the left. And again, he was another power screamer. Just every move, it was like, he's got to fall off it. Nope, he's still on.
Yeah, I think I remember listening to that. I couldn't tell where it was coming from because there were 4 people climbing at the time, but
He was giving it a very vocal climb. He rotates through the crimps. Elbow's going up a bit, but I think he's okay here. Blocking off that left arm. Mona.
Mona is also one of the shorter climbers, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I don't have her height on record, actually. But you can see with that big flick that she, struggling a bit. And height's a funny one. I mean, we talk about height all the time in climbing. We don't mean it's an advantage or disadvantage, but it does change certain sections. And you can see here she is struggling to get the feet engaged.
But I would say in terms of discipline, lead is more like accepted for shorter climbers. I have a Japanese friend who's like 148 who's been in the World Cup circuit before.
Yeah. The thing is, generally climbers are quite short. You know, there aren't that many very tall people in this sport.
Maybe Paul.
Yeah, Paul is an outsider. Adam Ondra, obviously. But, you know, everyone is kind of, around about my height, and I consider myself fairly short.
How tall are you?
In centimetres? I can't tell you. In old money, I'm 5'8". Hang on, I'm going to Google that.
5'8" is like 173.
Yeah, about that.
Ish.
172.
Oh, I got it quite.
That's pretty good. All right, Timona, though, has got through regardless. She's hitting these side pulls now. Kyrian Kwon comes on, which is an interesting one, because they've been bringing the athletes on together, and now they've sort of changed up the system a little bit. Who knows what's going on? But it will move things through nicely, whatever happens. Timona is at this section here, which she will be able to rest on. Shaking out those arms, and she's got to. And with her height, there are some big moves to come through the overhang.
From the pocket to the slope.
Yeah. So hopefully she'll be able to get that. She's going to have to put a lot of energy into the jump, whatever.
This move also kind of looks far, and the camera changed, so...
Yeah. Well, pans up to catch her there, which
she is onto the pocket. No, she's the one before pocket.
Yeah, there we go. Split screen back in action. So yeah, pocket, intermediate foot thing to come, and a big move to a sloper.
Seems like there's like 2 rest points back to back here, and then this probably would be the last one before the top.
I think the top of the women's route is really difficult. From my reading of it, certainly.
But you told me you gave up on reading.
Wow, well, I might have been a bit self-deprecating on that one. I think that was well done. And I think the advantage of that height is she can bring the foot up earlier. So actually it might have helped her a bit. But she hits the slap and she's low on that one. Yeah, she managed to bring the foot up onto the white hold quite early on. Back up, but that will be at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, I think for being short, like you have an advantage, especially in lead, because heel hook is a lot easier, and getting your position like squeezed up is a lot easier. And like a drop knee, they can fit in a little bit better. And relatively, they might be lighter in terms of the weight as well. So they can kind of carry a lighter weight when it comes to like weight to power ratio.
Interesting. Okay. And there's so much to analyze with this sport. It's great for us. Kwon matches the sloper, which won't be feeling that nice in these conditions right now. There is the men's leaderboard. Good to see that. So Yoshiyuki Gata, 36, way out in front after that speed run. Philip Schenk. And then down in 8th is Giorgio Tomatis. Lots of good climbers to come. Shion Omata will be out last.
He was the only one to top one of the qualification route yesterday. And, well, I'll talk about him later.
That's a clever left foot. Look, he's got it cammed in.
Ow.
Oh, it's going to hurt the knee, isn't it, though?
But how is he going to pop? Oh, there he was.
That was really good climbing from Kwon there. And the Korean crowd get right behind him. But this is a hard move. You can see him trying to hold that right leg, and it just about, but he hasn't made the clip, and I don't think he can, you know. No, he's going to go. He's happy.
He's happy.
A good fight from him.
It was a good save for his toe hook. And a good performance for our audience as well.
Yeah, it was fun, wasn't it? And they needed a bit of it. They've been quite quiet, the audience, but that certainly fired them up a little bit. Now, Sarah Chopper. She's the youth world champ. And she's definitely coming for the senior circuit. She topped a route yesterday. In these pockets. It's interesting, the first few athletes kind of struggled in this section, but everyone else recently looked fine on it.
But they have still been doing the different method, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, Camilla the only one with the Fig 4 so far that I've seen.
That is true. Was she the first one out? Yeah, she was the first one out and the only one to do the figure 4.
Yeah. Yeah, the athletes do observe these routes. They get 6 minutes to look at it. We didn't get it on our broadcast, but they have an idea of what they're facing here.
Sometimes it's interesting to see, or maybe they talked together about the beta because they do the exact same move. And even in the same country team, some people have a different method. And I wonder if it's like something they talked about, but they changed on spot as they were climbing it.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because we do sometimes see that within teams, that they do something within the teams different. I always wonder. I'm waiting for the days where they start to trick each other, but hopefully that won't happen. Because it is climbers against the wall, you know, that's the ethos of the sport. So they do try to help each other as much as possible. Right, Sarah. Very careful with the feet through this section. Just slowing herself down. It's a long route, this. We did see a few people timed out. I know Annie Sanders got timed out. She topped the route, but wasn't allowed.
I heard it from her mom. So I got here after she topped. So I scored a few spots lower from the top.
That is Mejdi Schalk.
He's more consistent in the semifinal for a lead as well now.
Yeah, I mean, he's that, you know, he's very much brought up into the combined Olympic sort of side of things. So I think right from the start of his career, he's done both. But he did miss out on the Olympics. But yeah, 21st in Copper, 10th in Prague for Boulder, and 7th the other day for Boulder. So missed out on the finals just. He'll want some revenge here.
It was just one attempt to the zone, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you're right. It was so tight in that round.
That was hard to watch. Sarah seemed to be struggling a little bit in this section. This is a similar move actually we have for men as well. With like really squeeze up gas down with high foot. I wonder if taller people might have a harder time.
Maybe.
In a smaller box.
Yeah, well, Sarah takes a deep breath. I think that's going to leave her outside of the finals, though. Oh, Mejdi had a bit of a hand slip there as he came out underneath. The rain has gone away, which is good. overcast day here in our arena. Right, he gets a heel in now. Reaches over his leg to make this clip, hits the slopers, and I'll make these little foot adjustments. He's not looking that comfortable, I don't think, right now.
Not really.
Now he finds a bit of flow as he launches over to the right. But yeah, I think he's looking a bit tired. He's one of the ones who's done multiple events over the last week.
He's also one of the person who had the longest season.
Yeah, in the OQS.
Yeah.
He's one who had to fight his teammates. You know, that was that really emotional final competition in Budapest. Okay, Mei Kataki. And I really like Mei, mainly because she's such a good outdoor boulder as well. Like, she went to Magic Wood after one of the rounds,
yeah.
like, set new baseline, which is an 8B+. She could do it all. Oh, Medji fighting. Yeah, Mei speaks really good English as well, so I've sort of managed to have a few chats with her. Yeah, really, really cool. Medji in a bit of trouble as that left elbow goes up, and now he kicks the right. No, he missed the toe. Just sort of didn't get it in very well.
It's kind of like a bittersweet face.
Have you set or climbed with Mei before?
I don't think I've done either. But let me tell you, some people think that's me, but that's not me. We have different last name, but we have similar face shape, and
Right.
we are actually same height. She's 153, I'm 153, but she's much stronger than me.
Mei, I don't know. No one's ever seen you in the same room together. I mean,
You don't have to, I can tell.
maybe it's you speaking whilst you climb, which is super impressive, to be honest. No, this is a different Mei from the one in my commentary box. But yeah, you're right. She's your kind of height or a bit smaller?
She's the exact same for me. I don't know about her appendices, like her arm span. But she is originally from the most northern part of Japan, and now based in Shiga, which is like near Osaka. And they have a lot of outdoor climbing and a really good lead facility. And I think she mainly trained there.
Yeah, but it's interesting to me that she went to Magic Wood because, you know, that's a boulder place. So she's obviously a really good boulderer as well.
She has achieved a lot of like really hard border lines in Japan that like she was the first female to do so. It's just not recognized as well as like her lead achievement.
Yeah. For me, mate, you're winning on that one. Not you, mate, that mate. So that quick draw around about her face, a bit awkward here as she crosses through. Yeah, those quick draws are from Trango, which is the IFSC's new sponsor this year. I'm particularly excited by that because I want to get my hands on their gear because some of this stuff is so cool. They've got these ultra-light quick draws, lots of recycled material. And we have an interview today in the World Climbing Club, so you can check out them. Now, just down on the bottom left of your screen, we've got Zento Murashita, who's been... Oh, no, it's not. I'm sorry. We've got the cleaning break. That's Yiko Polaka. He's an amazing outdoor climber and setter. So we're just going to stick with Mei. So this is the last climber before that break.
Fun fact, she's a nutritionist.
Mei is? Okay. Yeah, we were joking the other day because the Mei in my commentary box was saying that she was... What did you feed me, Ho, before?
Like a beef bone soup.
There we go. So we were saying that Mei is the new Japanese nutritionist.
But the other Mei actually is. And then she recently posted about like how, you know, eating properly is such an important thing for an athlete to do. Because that has been a big problem over the years in the climbing scene. And I was really proud of her doing that and like speaking out loud. And she also wrote it in English so that people can share.
That's very good, yes.
So go check it out if you're curious.
Is that on her Instagram or where is that?
Yeah, it's on her Instagram.
Okay.
Like I think after she made it to final, she won, or she made it to podium. She posted about it, and I was really impressed.
Yeah, me too. We do need athletes kind of drawing attention to it, talking about it, and giving the positive experiences.
And I think Japanese Federation has been doing a good job for that, with how like athletes eat and how they keep the body weight and how they keep the training all together, kind of thing.
Well, those ladies there are waiting for Zhang Kim and Sarato and Raku, and they will be out a little later on, but we'll have a moment of pause here while the setters clean the routes. Well, in fact, we are going to go away now from you, give a bit of a break for about 6 minutes, and then we will come back for the second half of this competition. Don't go anywhere if you're listening at home. We will see you very soon.
자, 여러분 다시 한 번 더 이벤트 현장 이벤트 소개를 해드리도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 이제 마지막인 날인 만큼 여러분들 끝까지 저희와 함께해 주시고요. 오늘은 이 뜨거운 현장을 사진으로 인스타그램에 올려주시면 되는데요. 대한사랑연맹 해시태그와 언급 추가를 하시고, 그리고 여러분들 부스 뒤쪽에 보시면 KAF 대한사랑연맹 부스가 위치해 있습니다. 부스로 가서 여러분들 인증을 해서 보여주시게 되면 선착순입니다. CGV 영화 이용권과 그리고 또 노스페이스 할인권도 드릴 테니까요. 여러분 선착순으로 얼른 사진 올리시고 인스타그램 업로드도 하시고 선물도 받으시고 일석삼조의 결과를 얻으시길 바라겠습니다. 계속 비가 좀 내렸다 미쳤다가 하는데요. 오후 일기예보에는 비 소식이 줄어들고 있기 때문에 여러분이 끝까지 저희와 함께 해주시는 것을 감사하겠습니다. 준비가 되는 대로 곧바로 14번째 선수들과 함께 남녀 리드 준결승 계속해서 이어가 보도록 하겠습니다.
Hello and welcome back. We've had our cleaning break. You can just see the route setter on the right finishing off the men's route and now being lowered back down to the ground. Halfway through and some big names to come as we get set for our second bit of the semi-final. That's the current leaderboard. Rosa Recker, 35 plus, leading the way from Mei Kataki, who was the last athlete we saw. And then down in 8th, Futaba Ito is likely to be pushed out of that finals place. I'm not sure she's going to stay there for that long. Only 8 athletes can make it through. But some big names to come, as you can see, including Jain Kim, Hélène Janicot, Laura Rogerer, of course, Zelia Avazu, Natsuki Tani. So massive stars in this women's side. And then as we near the end, well, Erin Moniz, she was in the Boulder finals the other day. Ai Mori, someone you've been spending time with in a bakery. Is that correct?
We've been doing the bakery tour for the past 2 days.
So a bit of bread coming down there. And bread? Well, I don't know. I was trying to think of bakery items, and bread was the only one I could think of. That's ridiculous. Yoshiyuki Ogata, 36. He's out in front. He sped his way through the wall. Super great from him. And then Kibian Kwon, 33 plus. I thought he was in a bit of trouble, but actually he did very well. And then Mejdi Shauk down in 29th. Max Berton, I'm not sure he's going to stay in the finals.
We've got how many more to come?
Well, we're halfway through, so 13 more to come here. And then look at how many Japanese athletes are in that top 13. Sasha Lehmann, though, standing out, the Swiss athlete, lead specialist, and Paul Gent, of course, the man mountain, one of the taller athletes. And then down at the end, Shiono Mata, Sam Avazu, and Sarato and Raku in our top 3. And Sarato as well, he struggled in Boulder a little bit.
A little bit. But I think he posted on Instagram about, like, maybe he's been changing his climbing style and he started to find his own flow with it. So we might see him evolve again.
Did he say what his climbing style was? Oh, look, sorry, just to introduce you. This is highlights. Sorry, I thought we were about to see a Fig 4
These are the highlights for the first half.
I thought we were underway. I was like, oh my goodness, we were seeing another Fig 4, but no. Yeah, so these are the athletes who have already come. Yeah, so what was his style and what's he changed it to?
I'm not sure. I've only heard the rumor of like him changing his own style.
Okay.
So if you see him struggle a little bit and seems like maybe he's like too exhausted or tired from the season, it might be because he's trying something out with the World Cup circuit, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But at his level, it's possible, I believe. I think he's known for like very lower body, like center of gravity style climbing. And some people called it like, what was it? Octopus hands? Like sticky hands?
Sticky hands, yeah.
Sticky hands, Serato or something.
Yeah.
And I think Tomoa also tried something similar with like from his super fast climbing into slow climbing for possible better slab results.
Okay.
And then maybe he's trying out something like that.
Interesting. Okay, see, this is why having a Japanese route setter in the commentary box, I see here all the hidden things about the Japanese team we don't normally know. Well, this was Kibion Kwon, who did well. He hyped the crowd up down low, but couldn't hold this flick of the right foot and was burning out a bit. Mejdi as well. Disappointment from him. I think he's going to be pushed out of a final spot. And when I walked outside just now, the rain was falling more heavily, so it really is pretty humid and a bit damp in the stadium. And that might be affecting the athletes. Just explain why that would, just for someone who has no idea. Like, why does humidity make a difference?
The hold feels different when you grab onto it. And it's also easier for people to sweat and have less chalk left every move they make. So more and more they get higher. And then especially like slopey holds or fiberglass holds can be very hard to grab, and it could affect like their power endurance because they might have to put more pressure onto grabbing onto a hold.
Okay. Yes, because it sounds, obviously I think, water and friction are kind of opposites, aren't they? So the damper it is, the harder it is.
Yeah, well, if anyone was to make it up to the last 2 holds in the women's route, they might have a better time because it's a Duratax hold. Yeah. And then they tend to have water on their hands before climbing it.
That's a very good point. Yes, those no texture holds. We've seen athletes lick their fingers. Back in the World Champs, you saw them pour water on their hands.
I'd have to say that was one of probably historical moment I would ever see.
It's a moment I didn't love, I'll be honest, watching athletes kind of
I
pour
was
water
trying
on their
not to
hands.
say that.
Yeah, I've got to be honest here. It's a strange one, isn't it? But I mean, it's something weird they're trying. And this is one of the first times, if not the first time, we've seen no text holds, those clear ones, in a lead route. They were in the women's quali yesterday, and they're back today. And that is the angles on our wall. The women's route especially, 55 degrees down at the bottom, so really brutal start. But then things ease up, whereas the men's goes through 40 degrees for quite a long time before hitting the 25. And a big head walls. It's almost like two head walls on this. 25 into the top angle. You're pointing at the Yoshiyuki down at the front then?
Yeah. There's been a lot of cues for like Mejdi and maybe Aymari, Futaba, Mihail.
Why is Mejdi so popular in Asia? It seems like, is it his style?
I think it's his energy and like how he just like popped up on the field out of nowhere on the first year of the World Cup, and he just crushed it. And I think a lot of people like his climbing style here.
Yes, I mean, it's similar, especially in Korea. It's exactly his style, all the routes.
Yeah, I think he's also like, were super famous for like a dual texture, jumpy, like a turnaround, like some sort of coordination move. And it was really fascinating, I bet, for a lot of Korean climbers.
Interesting, because he's very, very popular here. Like the queue for his autograph is massive.
Yeah, and Tomoa too. He literally had 2 queues going out to both sides.
What is that? Both hands signing autographs.
He was going one, another for like 30 minutes.
Amazing. Okay, second half of our semi-final is now underway. Zinto Marashita on the left and Helene Janicot on the right. Helene from France, lead specialist.
Zento is also known for lead in Japan, but he's also one of few athletes that I haven't really talked to in person.
Okay. You're meant to be our spy here, mate. What are you doing? You need to get in there.
I know. There's been so many youth climbers that's come out as the first year of like a senior circuit, and I'm trying to catch up, but there are so many.
Yes, every time I seem to come to an IFSC comp, there's more young, strong Japanese climbers. Now, Helene was 5th in Villars, so finals for her in the European Champs. She's outside, though, of the top 8 in Copper, down in 16th, but such a regular in semi-finals.
And Zento was actually 10th in Copper as well.
So Zento, nice and smooth at the moment. No drama from him, sort of cruising through this section. And Helene as well, up towards the big 3 stacked block crimp thing. Why, as a route setter, why are there 3 holds stacked up? Like, I get the first one. Why is the third one there?
The third one like on the top? Because they were trying to block the jug that's like by the edge of where the angle change. And the blocking hold was going over the angle change, so they had to add another one to block the blocker.
I see, so you don't stand on the blocker.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you. So they blocked the coping, and then they had to block the blocker, block it. Yeah, I'm with you.
And I think blocking the holds has got easier as the dual texture hold was invented, because blocking hold were often kind of like broken with other betas by stepping on top of the blocker.
Yeah.
But nowadays, because the blocker is also a dual text, they can't really do anything with it as a foot, as other hand, or as like to create other like breaking beta.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's like a tool, isn't it? It's fascinating. Okay, well, both athletes doing well at the moment. Helene, if she can find it. Oh, that was very close to losing it. She drags the rope through. There is an opportunity to shake here, but she hasn't really found the resting position.
Maybe she's waiting for the next hold to like properly rest. And Zento, on the other hand, got the clips in.
There's no issues with it. I have barely looked on the left-hand side of the screen because he's just, doing fine.
I just missed out by Brianson. He got first.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, good point. Yeah, so he's quite good. he misses the side ball then. But that's going to be right up towards the high point, I think.
Yoshiyuki's still got a high point because he held it.
Yeah. Second place. Could be good. And Helen, yeah, you're right. Look, she has recovered here instead of down low. Well, not recovered, but rested anyway. Shaken out. Now, this is where May got her right foot up. I think Helen's, she's a bit taller. I'm not sure she can in the same way, but she does the left foot instead. She moves into provisional finals at the moment, but arm is coming up. Oh, that move is a stopper, eh?
It is because it's the angle change and your feet are into a little bit more angle part. So you want to have your body close, but your hip is pushing you away from the wall. And ideally, you might want to have only your left foot onto the white one to get your body really close. But since right hand is a sloper, it's hard to engage your shoulder into the wall to have a better body positioning to go to the next hold, I believe.
Okay, so some figuring out to do that for the athletes. Quite technical.
And also how much power they have left in their entire body, just not only the forearms.
Well, we'll have to see if anyone can get through that sequence. No one really coming close yet. Paul Gemft is out onto the mats. Second French athletes climb for the men. No, third actually, sorry. Max and Mejdi. So Paul is, I mean, you were saying the whole of the French team, lead team, got through to semi-finals. We think.
As well as I know.
Yes. Let's just go
on the Insta story.
It sounds like a break. Well, if it's on Insta stories, it's fact.
Sorry, I was a little bit impressed by Paul just reaching up to a hole that everyone was jumping towards.
Not canvassing, yeah. He is ridiculously tall. He's, what, 186, I think?
I thought he was 190.
That's right, yeah, maybe. But I know there's a bit of discrepancy with how tall he is. I think he's actually taller than it says on the stats. So hang on a sec, bear with me. I'm finding it. 198, jeez.
198?
Yeah. And now the reaction.
The legend.
Reaction for Jane Kim, yeah, she comes on. Look, explain Jane Kim's reaction. I mean, why is she such a legend?
She has been in the competition scene for such a long time. And despite her height, because she's also the same height as me, 153 or 152 even. And with so many achievements she's done. And pretty much the only one who's been on the lead scene and consistently in finals with such a slow, flowy, maybe too slow nowadays, but very paced. And she never looks like she's aged either. She's had a kid. She has a very cute daughter, and she looks in better shape every day.
It's animated. And as she started climbing, by the way, there was people on the boulder wall on our left looking at it. Everyone who was looking at the boulder wall ran across our arena here towards the lead wall. She's got that kind of a support. But you're right about the slowness, and this is a long wall. We've seen athletes time out, so Jeanne is going to have to keep an eye on the time here. Paul Gemft, meanwhile, no drama down low. He's up to the Gastons now.
This would be one of the sections that I would be a little bit worried about because it's quite scrunchy and for how tall he is, but he's also very flexible.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be, wouldn't you? Because you're right about the height. Sometimes it has the advantage and sometimes it doesn't. Flexibility is your way out of it almost. And getting lots of support. We saw the banners.
It's kind of interesting to see one of the tallest athletes in this Elite World Cup and one of the shortest athletes climbing on the same wall at the same time.
That's very true, yeah. Hits that left hand. Bit of an adjustment. She's going to have to do a big move. She could be in some trouble here if she comes up. No, okay, she's all right.
I still remember back in the day when they were allowed to have a watch on the wrist. Jane Kim always had a watch, and she was always checking it a second half way up on the wall.
Oh, Paul stretches, but he's so stretched out. And that's going to be around about Yoshiyuki's high point, and he's very happy with that one.
Those are such great climbing for Paul. He does look a little tired there.
He does. I love it when an athlete celebrates like that because you're like, you know what? They did as best as they could do. You know, there was no mistakes for them. But Zhang Kim is still going here.
She looks so controlled.
Yeah, if I could wake up and be reborn a climber, I think Zhang Kim would be the one I'm reborn as. You know, I would love to climb like her.
Yeah, I wonder what it is like to have an endurance like she does.
Yeah, she just calms me down when I watch. I'm like sort of go into a Zen state. And look at that, just a lovely flow over to the left and then comes up to that right hand. There's no sort of extraneous movements that she makes. Okay, Yuta. Oh, I can't pronounce her second name.
Imaizumi.
Thank you.
That's a very Japanese last name. How would you pronounce it in English?
Imazumi, that's how I'd say it. Is that wrong? You're just laughing at this. No, Zhang Kim falls!
That was such an unexpected fall.
Ah, you don't often see her look that disappointed. And she's devastated out there.
She can't believe it herself either.
No. So rarely do you see her display. She'll thank the crowd as she always does, but that's a bit of a shocker.
That's her daughter and husband.
Oh, she's so cool. Oh my goodness. She's awesome. And yes, but they're shocked by that too.
Yeah.
Wow, well, a bit of drama in the second half of our comp here. Zhang Kim with an early slip.
I don't know if that height was enough for the final.
I don't think it is, no.
It was round where, like, the first cracks we were talking about.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's heartbreaking. There are more Korean athletes to come for the crowd.
Yuta is also specialized in lead, and he's been on and off of the World Cup circuit, but he loves outdoor climbing for bouldering.
I've done a little bit of outdoor climbing in Japan, and it's pretty good from what I've seen, but it's still developing, isn't it? There's more to do.
Yeah, he is one of the developers, actually.
Oh, cool. Well, that's a...
Like, he cleans the border, and he climbs the border, and he posts about it.
Yeah, there is a lot of rock in Japan, but it wasn't done that much until kind of quite recently, and then there's more and more stuff coming through.
Yep.
Right, Zhiluloa is on the stage from China. She, if I'm not wrong, and I might be wrong, I'm pretty sure she was training in Japan for quite a long time.
She comes and goes, like, quite often. Like, every time she would probably stay around a month and would go back to China for a month-ish, and then she would come back, like, for Olympics and before Olympics as well.
Yeah, so she's got that style.
It always brings in, like, such a big climbing group. Has, like, maybe 3 or 4 players along the way.
Like an entourage.
Yeah, it's like they actually use a microbus to come to a gym.
Really? What, her team?
Like, a group of 12 to 15 comes at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And they had a month pass so that they can come almost every day to train.
That's a brilliant bit of knowledge. I love that. I want to be there entourage. I think he's struggling here a little bit. Yuta comes up, but this is approaching a high point. He's into the provisional finals. Oscar Boudrin in the danger spots. I think he's going to be pushed out. And Paul Gemt leading the way due to count back on that 36. That's high point as well, so that will be the new high point because of countback, I'm pretty sure. And he's happy with it as well.
His mom's here with Aymar's mom watching climbing today. They went on a bakery tour.
I haven't done the bakery thing. I'm clearly missing out.
The Korean bakery has been really famous for Japanese people.
Okay. What do you guys do in France? It must be heaven.
Well, I am not into it either, so I just like follow where they go with them.
So, hang on, what is Aymori's favourite bakery item?
We went to a bagel store, and I heard she went to the one called, like, Seoul,
Okay.
which is like salted butter bread, like melted butter inside, like a butter roll thing.
Wow.
And that has been big in Japan and Korea.
Okay. This is amazing. I love this knowledge. Right, Jilulor is halfway through-ish on her route. So Tony Yoshida is out.
Another specialist in lead. He's been on podium several times on the World Cup circuit.
Oh, Jilu has a big slip as well there. That right foot is a nasty one.
But she managed to get through it.
She
She's
did.
also another very calm and like quiet but very stubborn climber.
I love it when you describe climbers as stubborn.
Most climbers are stubborn, I think. And the chalk bag she has is the Japanese brand from like southern part of Japan, owned by a climber, like a former competitor.
Okay. It's a big old chalk bag, isn't it?
It's a very nice sized chalk bag for like competitor because you can have your whole hand in it, and also a chalk ball with some loose chalk inside as well.
She clips down low. This is the women's high crux for sure, just getting onto the head wall here.
It seems like she has some juice left in her tank.
Yeah, she's got the right foot in. Boost up with the right. It's this left hold that spat off a few people. Now she's struggling. A bit low. Foot adjustment. This is going to be burning some energy. No, she's not going to get it.
That was kind of like a body position I was talking about. Having your left foot just out right and then flagging at your right foot. But right hand obviously isn't really that good.
No, it must be bad, eh? It looked a lot better from the ground when we were reading it, that right hand. To me, anyway. Did you know it was rubbish?
No, well, that's the blue pill. And then blue pill hold usually has like kind of different texture from other fiberglass holds like flat hold or cheetah hold. And if you're used to grabbing onto those brands, then you might have a harder time finding your right position.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So you think maybe the athletes are just thinking it could be a little bit... I mean, they know the holes though, don't they?
They do. They should be used to climbing it, but it depends on which gym you climb and what kind of holes they have.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be a different story.
Okay, well, regardless if they know it or not, they're all falling off it. No one getting through that sequence yet. Now the...
I think one person got through
with the
got
left
to
hand.
The left hand. So Tony got here pretty quickly.
Yeah, he did. Onto the pinches then. That heel toe cam. Oh, look at that. He's double stacked his toes there for a second. Yeah, that was smart.
That was a secure transfer from that weird heel toe cam or toe cam.
Yeah, toe cam. Shaking out. I can't believe he's resting it. Toe hook is good though, but releasing it is powerful. Barn door off. Mia Krampel is about to get underway for her route. That's the move I meant. He's done it well though.
So some people were talking about how good he is with his static style, how like close he can stay on the wall, and I think this is one of his style. Oh, that was. I think that was a smart choice of him bringing his right foot up first.
You can see how hard that crux is. A lot of athletes falling around about 35, 36 on the men's route. No one making much progress on that yet.
And we can't really see it from the camera angle, but the ball thing that people have been falling off has been blocked with a couple holds.
Now, I talked to Mia yesterday during qualifying, asked her how she was, and she just said, I'm physically tired from competing, and I'm tired from jet lag.
Yeah.
So and I think there's a lot of athletes who are feeling the same, but she still made a semi-final. She'll still fight hard for this.
She was here earlier, like for the Boulder World Cup, to also celebrate Gregor's last World Cup competing.
Yes, Gregor Vezonik retiring. We had this wonderful feature in the climbing club where, because Janja came, one of the reasons Janja was here was to support him. And she was in tears, Gregor was in tears, I was almost in tears just because everyone else was in tears. It was just a beautiful, beautiful moment. And shout out to Gregor because what a legend.
Yeah.
And he put this post up saying, look, I'm not a legend. You know, I'm not a once in a generation climber, and it's kind of like, yeah, but it's not about that. You know, it's about who you are.
Yeah, and it's about like what kind of impression he left in the climbing stage, and he was such a good person to always watch.
Yeah.
Like he's one of those energetic person in the field all the time, and I always enjoyed watching him.
I agree. Well, his teammate Mia Krampel makes the transition from steepness, and the rain is falling much heavier now. Although the humidity's kind of gone away a bit. It's colder, so maybe, and the route's very well protected. Sasha Lehmann cuts loose, makes the match on the sloper. Mia Krampel is nearing the danger point here. We've seen a few athletes slip.
Do you think that slip has to do anything with the rain that we are suffering from?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, isn't it? I think it's a bad foot. I
Yeah.
think there's not much friction on it, which doesn't help. And I think almost the athletes don't give it enough respect, perhaps. You know, it feels like a move you can just move through, and you can see Mia just not really thinking about it. And I think if you've just been caught out by that. Sasha hits the left hand. He's a little bit shorter than the others and needs to pop a little bit more into these holds. He's 164. That gold medal, though, he won in the Villars European Championships meant a lot to him. He was delighted by that one. In front of his home crowd, gold medal.
How wonderful is that?
So Mia is about to hit the crux now. Left hand buried deep in the pocket. Right hand will be on that intermediate foothold. She's got to sort the foot out. She needs to do what May was talking about.
She didn't seem like she rested.
No, hardly at all. And she shakes her head too.
Not quite happy with their own performance.
We're seeing a bit of a trend in this semi-finals route. Two cruxes are shutting down the athletes here.
I have a feeling, I might be super wrong. I don't really want to say it before he finishes climbing, but this looks like it's kind of a climb for me.
Okay. You could say that. Yes, it's
Powerful body positioning and lots of foot sequences and lots of fighting hard at the right time.
He's pretty good at reading routes, is Sasha.
And he's a really good fighter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's one of those stubborn ones. But he could be in trouble here. He holds the rotation, hasn't made the clip yet. Can he? Elbows are going up, but he holds that crimp well and then crosses in. That was a good save from him.
But we see anyone even do a pass on this.
Foot slips before he can try. And that leaves him in 6th. Risky one for Sasha.
Or 4th because of the comeback. Because it's 35 plus.
Yes, true. The leaderboard might be changed to. Okay, Laura Rogera comes on from Italy. Highest.
She was sick and when the Boulder round was happening, but she still competed. So a lot of Japanese friends were really worried about her, but she seemed to have climbed well yesterday.
I didn't know that. Well, hopefully she's recovered a bit. So Laura approaches the wall now. Double clips, you can see how steep that angle is.
Another Japanese climber up for men. His name should be easy to pronounce.
Shuta Tanaka.
There you go.
Have you got any insights on Shuta?
From really way back when I went to the World Youth Championship in Moscow, I think he not purposely stepped on like one of those bolts.
Before they were blocked, that was
Yeah.
back in the day, yeah.
And then usually athletes, like even if they like feel like they have touched it, they don't look down. so that judges don't catch them.
Yep.
But he looked down 2 judges, and they were like,
You're done, mate.
and then he was out of the final.
Oh, no.
I think he made a high point on his performance, so we were trying to. He wasn't really using it from the video, but it was still hard to tell. So.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's kind of like it doesn't really matter if you touch it, it's done. But they're now mostly blocked. We very rarely have incidences now, especially at this wall. Actually, every single one is blocked, so it's good to see.
He's also been on and off for the competition scene in Japan, but every time he comes back, he always makes finals in Japan nationals.
Is that because he's not being selected, do you think, or is it just that he's taking time away?
It might be some of the life change from like the transferring high school to university, because he's now a university student or maybe graduated by now. But the school schedule isn't like, you know, being a competitor isn't always the easiest to get the right training cycle.
Yeah, I know Mori had to sort of figure that one out for a while. So Laura gets a big drop knee in here, doing it the Laura way. She will find her own beater through some sections. Doesn't love a jumpy move. And actually there aren't that many sort of really dynamic moves in this route. Oh, look at this. He's got a heel in up high. Yeah, I'm not convinced by that heel, you know. Just because I don't think it necessarily saves you any energy doing it, because it's such a bad hold to heel hook. So both athletes, same level now, about halfway through. Laura approaching the nervy bit of the route.
And this is where we've been losing a lot of people, so I'm a little bit worried about it, but she looks secure for now.
Yeah, so far so good. And Shooter resting quite a while down there. Now he comes up into these Gastons. You can hear the gumbrays from the Japanese team encouraging them on. So Laura looks okay on the feet at the moment. Shooter Tanaka as well, very solid through this. Although now suddenly he starts to fight as that right leg kicks. Laura as well picks up the pace a little bit now. Shooter crosses through, looks left, hits the sloper. You can see
That's the blocker we were talking about.
Oh, and he falls on it. That happened quickly. Shake of his head as he comes down as well. He didn't like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that would be enough for finals for him.
Laura approaches the crux now. She'll make the clip first of all, and she will be able to get her feet up high if she wants to. That's the scoreboard. She's in 9th and needs to go higher. Eyes it up. It's got to be a big pop for her. She hits it, but pops the left hand. And she's in some trouble as she swaps feet, brings the right in, and no, the left hand was not comfortable. Up into 7th, 34, and considering how many athletes get into the same place, I'm not sure that will be enough. We've got Zelia Havazu, Natsuki Dani, Annie Sant. I mean, just a list of stars to come. We'll have to wait and see. You can see the tents in the background, North Face tents. Apparently they're 7,000 euros, those big ones. I know.
That one?
Yeah, it's like a base camp tent.
7,000 euros? How much is that in Korea won?
Many. I have no idea.
No wonder why I haven't seen them in public.
Yeah, they are like expedition tents.
In the camping site.
Yeah. Now Dokia Lee comes out. This man won a gold medal the other day in Boulder. Can he get the double? Has he recovered enough? Has he got the skin? He's certainly got the talent, because he is a good lead climber.
I think he was first known as a lead climber when he started competing in the World Cup circuit. Now he's also known for amazing bordering.
He's got it all, hasn't he? I hate talented people. Unbelievable. As I say that, he fumbles the clip, but it's in now. Dokan, yeah, double kind of misses on those clips. So maybe he's feeling a little bit of the nerves down low.
번째 선수
Jan Kim and daughter are in front of us in the commentary box right now. Jan Kim's daughter is so cool, by the way. She's dancing around. I know this has nothing to do with climbing, but I don't care. I'm literally watching that, not the climbing. Okay, back to come on, focus. Dokyun on crimps.
Yeah, Dogan seems a little nervous. Or
Yeah.
maybe it's a little cold out there now. Because for elite climbers, they usually have to wait for their turn for like from 2 people ahead of them on a seat.
Yeah. So he might be just a little bit have to warm himself back into the route. But he's not looking. The movements are just not there yet.
Maybe he's one of those people who catch up later on. Like catch up on their pace later on.
Yeah, when he's warmed up into it, maybe. We'll have to see. Zelia Avazu, meanwhile, is climbing the French.
Both of the medalists from the World Cup, the Boulder and World Cup 2 days ago.
Yeah, the women's podium full of first-time medalists. It's great to see Annie Sanders taking her first gold in that competition. Zelia bumps up towards the crimp, clipped by a hip as she gets it in. The rope in a bit of an awkward position there, but managed to sort it out. Dokyun Lee still looking a little bit. It's like he's cold almost.
That's what it looked like to me. But he's also one of the person for me that I can't tell whether he's like tired or not, or he's gonna do it or not.
Seems to be completely recovered from that shoulder injury he had. And Zelia has sped her way up to about a third of the way through. She's through the overhang now, kicks the feet out left, brings the right hand under, crossing through. White section to come, or white and yellows. Dokyun, but interesting feet there as well.
Now he looks kind of solid.
Yeah, it's like he's back a bit, isn't it? And maybe he just needed some harder moves to wake him up a bit.
Maybe it wasn't hard enough for him.
Yeah. I mean, you do actually hear that from some athletes, you know, that they just couldn't get into it because they're not fighting. That's our leaderboard. He's in 11:32. Everyone ran about the 35s to 36s in our top 8, apart from Kwon, who I think is about to be pushed out. That was so solid. And he's standing on a bolt hold. Now, he can do that, but there's no friction on it at all. More, he's not standing on it, he's kind of flagging into it, perhaps. Oh, he's dropping down.
It's like at the advantage of the local.
We've just lost Zelia Avazu as well, by the way. That was an early fall from Zelia. Well, we'll stick with Dokyun Lee as he hooks around the corner. He's looking calm. There is Zelia on the ground, way sooner than I would have expected. It could be high point time. I think he might get a plus for that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, he certainly found, we were very worried about him down low, but he proved us, maybe just warmed himself into that route, and he's got the current high point, confirmation of it. Jan Kim's daughter is now kicking a balloon. I am just she's so cool. Jan Kim playing football with her daughter. Wonderful. Well, the crowd have got some umbrellas out, as you can see, because the rain is falling here in South Korea and Seoul. It's eased off a little bit, but it's still pretty wet out there. Some party, bit of dancing going on. Now, this is a lady that you know pretty well, Natsuki Tani, coming onto the stage.
I thought I did, but we talked about, we talked to each other yesterday, and we don't know when was the last time we met each other, because we've seen on this, each other on Instagram quite often, so we don't feel like it's been a while. But I'm sure it's been maybe 5 years at the very least.
Oh wow! Sorry, I thought you were really close to each other.
No, she lives in Kansai region, which is a few hours away from Tokyo.
Well, she was very relaxed on stage yesterday. Like the second she came down from her quali route, she was talking to her teammates. You know, she was really vocal and seemed to be having a good time.
She was the bakery tour partner too yesterday.
Okay. Can you reveal that Suki Tanner's bakery item of choice? Was it bagels too?
Yeah. We only went to the bakery shop.
All right.
And
filling of the bagel?
I don't remember what she got.
Did no one go for the classic cream cheese and salmon?
No, we went for just like a plain bagel with like something inside, but I don't know what she got. I was too focused on myself. And
what was your bagel of choice?
Blueberry.
Ooh, but hang on, wait, is it salty bagel or like so it was a sweet bagel?
For me, I like sweet bagels, not the savory ones.
I didn't even know there was a sweet bagel. This has blown my mind. I thought it was a savoury snack.
No.
Oh my goodness. Right, I need to get
Bagel's
this
like
in.
a dessert for us.
Wow, okay. Sorry, right, climbing, man. Climbing. Ao Yakuza swinging around. And Natsuki Tani also underway.
I would say I know Ao a little bit more than Natsuki in terms of like seeing him in person because he used to climb at the gym. Like he climbs regularly at the gym I used to work at.
Okay. What kind of style does he have?
Very slow and steady, not that dynamic, and he's not the tallest athlete in the team either, but his footwork is what I think amazes me the most.
Oh, Natsuki Tani, sorry, as we were talking, only just got that left hand.
Barely.
Yeah, barely.
I missed that. I was focusing on.
Yeah, she was in real trouble there. She managed to pull it back, but I think she just misjudged the move.
I think shorter people have been trying to like get their heel hook right below the pocket. Now she's struggling to get.
Yeah, it's unsettled her a little bit, that, I think. Did the drop knee a bit like Laura did.
For a couple of times she's been missing the clips and have been kicking herself out of the final spot.
Yeah, we saw it in oh my goodness, but in Copper, I think.
Yeah, and I think on Instagram she's always said that she has too much fun in climbing, that she's so focused that she misses it and it keeps on going.
Let's hope there's no incidences this time. She's up into a dangerous place here. We've seen a few falls, Ilia Abazu, and she slips too. Wow. It's when they stand on the volume. Like she had a foot on the volume there.
Oh, she can.
So sad from Natsuki Tani. Emotions coming out on the stage. Ao Yakuza, meanwhile, he'll carry on climbing.
It was probably because she felt like she was in a good shape and was ready to fight for much higher than where she fell.
Yeah, I mean, when you see emotion, like, we don't want to see pain on stage, but emotion is, it's part of this sport, and it's part of any sport,
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with being disappointed, and, it's, you want to win. If you don't want to win, why would you be an athlete? And so, yeah, Natsuki Tani has got up now, so she's walking off the stage. This is the men's top. Oh, Daniel hasn't got that plus.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe because of his, he didn't clip the one before?
Yeah, maybe. There are appeals that can come through. We haven't been informed of any at the moment, but sometimes a semi-final will finish and then the appeals come, so just be aware of that. Ao is approaching. It's crazy, isn't it? He's so close to everyone else, and yet he's still in 10th here. He misses that side pull.
I'm starting to question what the intended beta was to get to the next hold and moving off of it after, because some taller people have been reaching to 36 with lower foot, but they're unable to bring their feet up afterwards, so that they can't even get a class. I don't know what the intention was from sellers for that move.
Yeah, it's interesting. And certainly no one's got it. Right, your gold medalist from Boulder, Annie Sanders, and her first gold medal. She was really emotional on stage. And if you want to watch an interview we did with Annie, again, World Climbing Club, I think it was 2 days ago's show? Yes. Yesterday's. It was this show. And we just talked to her. There's some in-depth look at the boulders. We put 2 of them in full, pretty much, so you can go and see how she won that competition. And it's great with Annie because she's a bit shy on camera sometimes, but she's starting to come out and be of her shell a little bit, and it's great. So go watch that, please, if you haven't already. But she showed me her skin, and her skin was terrible, really bad after the Boulder round. And I know she had a day off on Friday when speed was going on, but yesterday she climbed, so I'll have to wait and see on that. Taisei Homa. Any secrets?
Any secrets? He cooks well.
That is a secret.
He cooks on his own, for like his own diet. He controls it like pretty well.
What does he cook?
Chicken. Chicken breast.
Okay.
Like everyone who works out might have all the time.
There we go. I'll have to get a recipe of him. Now, Annie tends to lead climb her way through boulder problems like she did in the finals, and now we're seeing if she can lead climb her way through a lead route. She does occasionally get timed out. She got timed out yesterday on one of the routes, and she is being quite slow here. Just making sure of it, but not enjoying this one. If she can avoid jumping, she will, at all costs.
Not that she can't jump.
No, she's good at it.
She's really good at it. And she's got much taller than the past year as well. And she looks like she has longer arm span too.
Yeah, chatting to her, because she kept doing this static method through the boulder problems, but some of that was skin. She just didn't want to jump into it and rip the skin.
I didn't know that. I thought she chose that like static method. I know which border you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
the
think
red
it's the
and white
border
one.
one. And I thought she chose it because she didn't want to jump. But
Yeah,
I didn't know
me
that
too.
it was for skin.
Yeah, I thought exactly the same thing, and yeah, she told me. And we did see a bit of a blood incident in semis from her. Hopefully she's recovered.
Yeah, so the fiberglass, the flat-hold fiberglass here in Korea are so rough. Like I bled my first day of like comp setting once.
Wow.
Just like grabbing into maybe like 5 times because of how rough it was. And then there were a lot of like jumping move into those FRP, like fiberglass holds. So every time I watch people go for it, I was like, no.
The athletes really put their bodies on the line here in the sport. Annie has been very slow and precise with this, and she's going to have to be on this next section. We've seen quite a few fall here. Gets in the left heel, creeps her way up, and then bumps that right foot onto the jib.
That's the right foot that we don't want to see her fall.
Oh no, hold your breath, everyone.
And Tyson's been up here for a good pace, I think. I recognize himself as a good pacer. He has his own pace, and he has his own like calmness that he gets in when he's in the zone.
Yeah, he's talked to me before about not finding his flow and struggling with it.
Yeah.
He's one of those who I think just needs to feel it. Okay, Annie reaches up onto the white hold. She's now into 11th. Mattia Pozzi is pushed out of the top 8, by the way, so no final streak for her.
Taisei also trying to get to the high point that we've been seeing.
He's close. Different foot here. Stretching on it. He's going for that side pull and holds it. Right, see if he can get through it. Brings the left foot up. There's a dish with a jib in it above his head. He wants the left toe on. No. The high point.
I would call that a pass.
Should be. It really should be. 4 to go for the men. Annie Sanders, meanwhile, has been climbing really slowly, really precise, and she's about to hit the crux, but is in 10th. Brings the right foot up. I think that is the better method, Does what you said, flagging, crosses through. This is good from Annie. Nasty crimp to come, though.
That's the shoulder engagement I've been talking about. Like your elbow is out, but your shoulder's in.
This is a hard move. Into the black, she makes it. Wow, Annie is on form right now.
She's cruising it.
Oh, that's a bit of rope drag, I think, in the system, and now unleashes itself. It's a pretty, I think it's this angle at the bottom means the rope is hard to pull through.
Look at her elbow.
Wow.
I'm always so amazed by lead climbers after their elbow starts to go out and they still make a couple more moves.
This is a fight from her, but this is going to be finals. Left toe on nothing. This as she makes the clip. That's the last clip. Bumps out the right foot.
And another push here. And she makes it work.
This, I don't know what the time is. We don't have access to it on the live stream, but she's got to be coming close to that. Into nasty crimps now. Dual text to come. She stands up on the ball. Left toe on.
Now I think she's going to try to switch feet or inside flagging.
Oh, look at this from Annie.
Sticks it.
It's going to be a top as long as she isn't timed out.
That is amazing. Has she timed out?
I don't know. I don't think so. We don't know, but oh, come on, drags the rope up, gets it in, and that's the top for Annie Sanders. Impressive stuff. Our gold medalist, really on form. Now, I just wanted to read something out because Zhang Kim has posted on Instagram about what happened. She said she didn't know what happened, felt in good shape. She made a mistake on the foothold, as we saw. But what's interesting is a final paragraph. Will I compete next year? I don't know exactly. I don't want to limit my future and say I'm going to retire, as then I have to stop. And I don't want to stop, but I don't know yet. I just don't want to limit myself. So, interesting stuff from Zhang Kim. Annie Sanders back on the ground after this last move. She made that whole route look effortless.
That rope drag.
Oh, so it wasn't. Sorry, I just want to correct myself. It wasn't on Instagram. That was to one of the IFSC staff. So she told me in an interview afterwards. So that's straight from her mouth to us here in the commentary box. Right.
He's the person to watch for you, right?
Giovanni, yeah, I was really impressed with him during qualis.
Yeah, he looked pretty solid on one of the harder routes in the qualifying round for money yesterday.
Yeah, he did. And let's see if he's recovered from yesterday's performance. Because sometimes we see that when an athlete really sort of outperforms themselves, that they've almost pushed it too far. And Yu Tong-zhang comes out as well.
She was the first person out who's topped both routes in the qualifying round.
And ooh, look at this from Giovanni, though, crossing underneath. This is... He's in some trouble here, you know. Comes out and now kicks the right foot over.
He was already resting quite a bit in those cramps beforehand.
He's made lots of semi-finals this year, but really kind of outside of the top 15 throughout. And he does slip off that. Yeah, you're right. And look down at his skin immediately. I just wonder if, you know, that performance in qualis that he couldn't recover from, he'd almost overexerted himself. But he is out. 3 to go for the men. And Yu Tong-zhang, as you said, underway for the women. A little longer for the women. We've got 5 athletes left. The route taking more time, and we're rotating the athletes through now as they fall. We changed things up there. At the beginning we weren't. Yes, Yu Tong, I watched her qualify for the Olympics in Jakarta for the Asian qualifier.
That was such amazing performance from her.
I think she was surprised. She was surprised, you know, very emotional and couldn't quite believe it, but she's not done that particularly smoothly. They hit the match on the big pocket.
She's been also training in Japan as well. A lot of top Chinese athletes has been training in Japan, having Japanese coaches, and they speak better Japanese than they speak English. Yeah, I've tried to communicate with her in English, but we have easier time to speak in Japanese.
That's amazing. Now, Serato Anraku comes out. You talked at the beginning of the broadcast about him changing his style at the moment, trying new things. And with Serato, you just never know. Sometimes he's utterly dominant, and other times he makes big mistakes and falls. Of course, he's fairly new to his career. You know, he was still, what is he, 17 now? So he's still
I think
learning.
so.
Yeah. So we'll have to see which Serato is on stage right now. Yuntong not looking that comfortable yet as she goes through the 55. It's been quite a while figuring out that sequence. Serato has these crimps and will continue upwards here. The condition report for you if you're watching at home, and I know there's quite a few of our European audiences who have managed to join us now as things are a little bit later on. I think we started at 6 a.m. there, so it's a nice Saturday morning for you. Or Sunday morning, isn't it? Right, Serato with the left toe hook comes up to the right-hand side on that jib, and Yutong is picking the pace up just a little bit now. That's the heel in underneath. We're nearing that point, mate, the scary point.
Yeah, I'm trying not to watch. I'm focusing on Serato because I don't want to see another fall there.
All right, I'll watch that. You watch Serato. How about that?
But most people who went through without slipping have been having themselves on the volume, not on the foothold. So maybe that hold that they were grabbing on with their hands are Dortex on the part they can actually step on. Yeah,
maybe. And she is trusting the volume a lot. She's going back and forth. So, I mean, she won't know, of course, that a lot of people have fallen here, but we know. So increasing our heart rates here. She's still on the volume. Please move forward from it. Right, now she goes. Kicks the right foot up, puts in a heel. Serato.
Amazing drop knee here.
Oh, his flexibility is great, isn't it? I think Serato is in dominant Serato form at the moment. Although we know he can fall out of nowhere. Yutong is matching the white sloper.
I believe they are on the same height now, if you were to see the full screen. And Serato will secure himself in final. He can get 36. Since there's only 2 more people to come out.
So the crowd get behind Serato.
So this is definitely the dominant Serato here.
Yeah, he's back, isn't he? Up to 36. I think the score will be updated now. He's on the high point and into the head. Well, Yutong as well. This is really exciting stuff. Both athletes, Yutong, no! She looked low and hadn't made that clip yet.
Almost had it though, that was impressive. And this is the part I had a hard time reading from the bottom because I didn't know there was a crimp on the right hand.
Yeah, then uber stacked crimps there above his head. Oh, it's such a nasty, it's kind of a slopey crimp. Palms down. Bit of a shake now. He's going to have to battle if he wants to get to the top. Creeps that left hand up and brings the right in. He should be able to clip from here, and I think that's the last clip.
And we only got 2 more holds here. Do you think we're going to see the top?
We haven't for a while, and we're not going to again for the men as Serato falls. But yes, the dominant Serato certainly turned up today, and that will be guaranteed finals for him. You can still see the spots of rain on our camera. Someone go give that a wipe, please. But the rain is falling.
I wonder if that second last hole was kind of wet because he looked down at his hand right away as soon as he slipped out of it.
Yeah, maybe. There is a roof on the lead wall. It's not the biggest roof I've ever seen, but perhaps the rain is blowing in at the top. I don't know. Right, Erin McNeice comes through. I was chatting to her coach last night, actually, about Erin, and she was saying just how selfless she is. She's really sort of with the team. She wants the whole of the GB team to improve and get better, and she's, yeah, apparently a very, very good athlete to work with.
Isn't she also one of the shy
She is, yes. Yeah, she's very shy. I think it's been just a lot to handle. I mean, this year's been her breakout year, and suddenly you move from being unknown to everyone talking about you.
Yeah. It's a big change around her for herself. And I think she's still trying to catch up to what she's like achieved in the past season.
Yeah, I think she'll be looking forward to the end. I mean, she's an Olympic finalist. She did OQS. She's competed everywhere, it seems. It's time for Erin to chill just a little bit. But she'll want to make finals here. She was on the podium, of course, the other day.
Yeah, it was her first Boulder World Cup medal for her.
Yeah. Right, Sam Avizu. We saw his sister fall earlier on in our semi-final. Sam qualifying in second place for this semi-final. Look in the free through here.
Both Olympian.
Yes, both Olympians, yeah. Yeah, Sam didn't have, like, he wanted to do more at the Olympics. You know, it was his home crowd. He was disappointed, but since then he's just come back with such a vengeance into the comp scene. And, you know, the medals he's got since then. When we've got Vilar's double gold. Sorry, well, double gold, triple medal, silver in lead, copper, bronze medal. The last couple of comps in the Boulder, he didn't quite get to where he normally would. 11th in Prague and 15th in Seoul. So it'd be good to see him back in the final if he can get there. And Erin rotates through. She's also got to be struggling with skin and fatigue a little bit. And her teammates Diane and Max not in the semi-final.
Yeah, competed in Boulder final with her.
Yeah.
And Max won his second silver medal in the Boulder World Cup.
Yeah, Max really enjoying the Korean setting, and also just lost career, it seems. All right, Erin, let's see here. She's climbed pretty slowly so far. And I think all the top ladies have done that at the moment. You know, you just got to be careful down low.
All the way up to the top.
Yeah, one top for the women's and a close one from Serato. Sam's picking the pace up here a little bit now. He starts to motor. And hitting the side pulls well. Oh, this is what she's got to be careful. Yeah, the heel would have been really dangerous there.
I'm losing my voice right now.
Sam falls. Wow, that came out of nowhere. He's down. Well, we'll have to wait for the scores to see where he ends up, but I'm not sure. It's that round about that 35-36 is very contested right now. May is on the scoreboard. Here we go. That's for the women we're seeing. Erin McNeice moves up to 13th. Where's Sam at? 7th. Wow. Oh, no, it should be good then. Yeah. So he's safe. Shionomata to come. So job done for Sam, but that was close. Erin looks down at the clock here. She's in 13th, needs to get up to 34 plus to make it into the final as it stands, but 3 athletes to go for the women. Finals taking place 8 p.m. Korean time.
What time is that in European time?
Absolutely no idea.
But you knew that this was 6 a.m.
I know, someone told me that. I tell you what, I've got Google in front of me. Let's have a little look.
In the meantime, Erin proceeding all the way to the part where we've been losing a lot of people.
1 p.m. by the way, if you're watching.
Lunchtime.
Lunch, exactly. So have some lunch and come back and watch us. Erin managing to find a rest here before the women's crux. I'm surprised Annie made the top look as good as she did. You know, it didn't seem like there is any more cruxy sequences after this move. It seems like this is the one.
She's also relatively one of the taller persons to compete in the semifinal, so I'm curious what move she's trying to choose.
Well, she's got the slopey pinch.
Making it work.
And that will be finals place for Erin as well, so 2 in a row for her. Just into the black pinch as well. And she'll clip from here, and then the top sequence to come, and one more quick draw as well. You can just see it there on our camera.
I love her fight on each, like both Boulder and lead. Her face always look a little concerned, and she just makes it work.
Yeah, worried. I think she always looks just like a little bit, oh, that was a bit of a mistake. She tried to get a right heel up. You got to fall into that hold. Yeah, that's better from Erin. She works it out. Wow. Yeah, she wanted to get a high heel in. Now we'll match the sloper, hug it, and flick the feet over to the right. Last couple of moves and a clip to come for Erin.
Let's go, Erin.
I'm checking the time.
And she'll be coming close. Oh, and falls there. Well, that doesn't really matter in terms of the final. It might affect things in countback. That's worth remembering with the semi-finals place. Things are really tight at the moment. Your athletes getting the same kind of scores, and countback can make a difference.
And Shion Omata started climbing.
So final athlete out.
His mom and his younger brother is out here in Korea to watch him compete.
There's a great story about Shion Omata, which I've got to repeat, which was during Copper, he was fishing in the sea between us, which I just think is so cool.
So this time for his first climb, before his first climb, he was ready to go. And we saw him on the stage, and we lost him in second. And turns out he didn't have his harness on.
Right.
On the sea, like 2 people before, like it was his turn. And he ran back with the harness on himself, and he topped the route.
That's amazing.
But beforehand, I met him briefly because he was going back and forth between the bathroom and the stage, and he was like, "I'm so nervous. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna do this." And maybe the harness thing was the key.
Maybe. He's quite a character, isn't he? I think we've discovered from that little conversation.
Yeah. He is shy to new people and doesn't talk a lot to female, like athletes. But he's really close with Jaehyun Lee. They've trained together in Japan. They had lunch together in Seoul yesterday.
Mori gets a big reaction as she walks on. She's a very popular figure, well, throughout the world, but especially here, it seems, in Korea.
She started to smile on camera.
I like putting Mori on camera. Like, you'd think she'd be very shy, and yet she's not. She really likes to talk and tell you what she's feeling.
And she said she is kind of a little ashamed that she can't express as much as she's feeling in English, because she can understand what people have been asking her about, but she can't really get like her real emotions out because she's just lacking the vocabulary yet.
Okay. Well, she's underway in climbing here. Final 3 women: Mori, Jessie Piltz, and Shan So to go. This is the last male athlete, Shion Omata. Good flexibility from him as well. Tension in that left leg as he presses off the Gaston.
I am a little nervous right now because I've known him since he was 7.
Do you think this kind of a route would suit him, looking at it?
Yeah. But it's also, for me, I can't really expect when he falls. Like, he sometimes has kind of like a slip, unexpected slip, and loses himself. And sometimes he's like really, really secure.
He did that move well. Dragging the right foot across the wall just to slow the movement down.
And gets a clip in. That's smart.
Oh, now he's changing his mind. So this could be awkward for him because it's a nasty one to clip from, wrapping that left hand around. He's not even looking at the clip. He's just going for points. But that clip is going to be a nightmare from this position. Yeah.
It's still enough for him to secure his spot in final.
There we go. So the men confirmed as it stands, remember. Things might change. We'll let you know if they do. happened in Prague when Erin got pushed out of the finals place. So from now on, for the next couple of athletes, we will just stick with the women as Ai launches into the side pool as she approaches the angle change from 55 degrees.
아이머리를 포함해서 여자 리더 준비했을 2명의 선수가 남아있기 때문에 끝까지
I didn't think Erin was climbing that slow, but she timed out like 5 moves before.
Oh, wow, okay.
I think that's why she like jumped down.
I see. Yeah, we don't have access to a clock on the live stream. We can't actually see a clock from our position in the commentary box. That's why we're a bit unsure ourselves.
But I just kind of wanted to say that like that's how tall this wall is.
Yeah.
Like you don't look like you're climbing that slow.
Yeah, it
But
says
6 minutes is such a short time.
it is indeed, and it says 15 meters on the graphic, but I was told it's more like 17 meters, so it's a really big wall.
And with the steepness too, it only adds more meters to climb on.
Absolutely. Well, Ai is looking comfortable, I'd say, so far.
Good bread, good performance.
That salted bagel clearly doing its work. I'm still mind blown by the sweet bagel, by the way.
I should have brought one here today.
Absolutely, you should. Ai sets herself, hits the side put. And that foot is smeared with rubber. So many athletes have slipped or fallen on this move. And for the first time, Ai looks in. Oh, what? She's crossing? I'm not sure about that, mate.
I'm not going to say anything about it now. I was too stressed about her right foot at the moment. She looked like she had it in, but everyone looked like they had it in and they had the slip.
I think once they're standing on it, though, like she's doing, it's more okay. We're zooming in there to look at that hold. And you can see there is no text down there. And the volume itself, very angled and slippy, not a lot of friction. And she's made the hand swap. I was worried about that. She needs to go left, and she was right, so she's made that adjustment. Still trusting the volume. Now make her breathe again as she comes up.
I know I don't really have to worry about her foot placement because every time she looks like she's about to slip, she never slips. But at the same time, it just like freaks me out every time she has like very edgy foot placement because of her height.
Yeah.
She's a centimeter taller than me, by the way.
Oh, really? She's taller than you?
Yeah.
Wow.
154.
You don't seem that small. I don't mean to be offensive. You don't come over as that small, man. You've got big personality. All right, Ai Mori adjusts the feet, and now she's having to fight a little bit, but she's hit the left hand, and that's important, and she'll love the next crimp. Dragging up the rope.
And making that clip there with that sloper, that's impressive.
Now, I've just managed to reposition myself so I can see a clock. So we're coming up to 1:10 for Ai Mori. So that's actually quite a lot of time on this head walk.
Choosing a different foot placement for her to get past. And she's checking the clock.
Yeah, 55
Realizing
seconds.
that she's only had less than a minute. She did climb slow, but like not that slow.
I think she timed it really well. And easily does this hug move across. Claws her way onto this crimper side pull and will pop up as she comes up to 30 seconds now left on the clock. Left foot up.
That mobility and the strength in that flexibility is what I'm always amazed by Ai Mori.
She's only got 20 seconds though, so she needs to go fast here. And I think she's going to get timed out. 14 seconds. Last 10 seconds now for Ai Mori. She's on the crimp. And no, that is the end of Ai Mori's time. She'll still probably finish things out. She falls on these side pulls. Sorry, on the no text.
Oh wait, Annie Sanders also didn't count as top.
Okay, so she got timed out.
Yeah, I just saw the result, and then Annie Sanders stands below Ai Mori because Ai Mori scored 44. Annie Sanders scored as 43 and Erin 41.
So it wasn't a top. Okay. Thank you, mate. That's a giant cat back there. Sorry, not cat, tiger, I meant. and it's provided by one of the sponsors, and there's lots of sponsors here at the event. So if you are in the area, do pop down. There's a lot to do here. There's a sort of a pull-up challenge that a huge queue of people seem to be doing every time I go past it. And of course, opportunity to meet the athletes. So this is Ai on the top. The last couple of moves, she was just about to get timed out here. Had about 6 seconds on the clock. I have a feeling she probably didn't commit quite as much to that. She must have known she was timing out.
She did look down around the two black holes, how much time she had left, and she probably knew that she might not finish it within time.
Yeah.
And she also probably knew that it would be enough for finals.
Absolutely. Okay, Jessie Pilz comes out onto the stage. She is one who is going for the overall title for 2024. It's one of the reasons she's here in Korea. And she hasn't really had much of a break since the Olympics. She's done lots of competitions. Absolutely loves competing. It's her life and has been for such a long time. Seems like Jessie's just been on the scene somewhere forever, you know, since I've been watching competitions.
Like Jakob and Jessie Pilz has always been like semi-final or final in any comp, as long as I remember.
Exactly, it'd be so weird if they didn't. And she's medaled recently as well, silver and copper. In fact, last couple of
bronze in Olympics, right?
Yes, I was about to say, there's that little matter of the Olympic bronze medal. She just peaked for that competition really well.
Yeah, her performance, especially in bouldering, like shined.
It did, because she had a season where you couldn't sort of figure out where she was at. You know, she didn't do that many comps. She was in and out a bit, and yeah, just great stuff from Jessie. She was 15th in Boulder as well the other day, which is not bad. And we'd expect her to get through here with no real issues. As we've seen, it's saving energy down low. Twists that right leg and just locks in the toe. Does it really quite statically. That, I mean, I know she then flew, but she had that toe in a long time.
She seems to be relatively faster than the past 3 climbers out.
I'd agree. Rain went away.
Did it?
I think so. Certainly less heavy. I'm trying to look out and see some rain now. It's hard to spot rain. And certainly it doesn't usually show up on our cameras, so it can be quite difficult if you're watching at home to know. That's why I try to update you with condition reports. Jessie spins into that blocked hold. Comes out with the left. Wow, pretty focused on Jessie here. Quite tense here in the stadium right now.
Probably because everyone knows that she's getting into this like stressful section
Yep.
with where a lot of people have been slipping.
Yeah, adjusting that right leg. She now starts to try it just a little bit harder here. The lat heel, the heel will be so solid. She's brilliant at these heel hooks.
Yeah, there's been a couple of different methods, and then the one that's looks like that's been working is the cross that she just tried to do. But she chose a different method now.
Yeah, a little adjustment. It is tricky this. She's got the right foot on the jib though, so that's good. Now sits really low on this volume. Both feet trusting holds rather than the volume. Very static as she brings that right foot up. You can see those Olympic rings on her right ankle. This is pretty controlled by Jessie, and she's got lots of time, just under 3 minutes.
Well, she got here quite fast.
Yeah. Well timed here by Jessie. That heel is in underneath, comes up into the pocket, buries the fingers into it. That's so simple, but the feet, they're not quite right yet. And the foot match is risky. The right foot is better. Hasn't got a clip yet, mate. Jessy's in trouble here.
Sticking it.
But it's
Do you
so
think
low.
She can make that flip
No, she's
work,
not.
Or she's just going for it.
She's past it and in trouble. But I mean, she's in a finals place, so she's okay, but she can definitely make moves. This is going to be an enormous fall as well if she goes from here. It's a massive one. She's still going. Oh, wow. That is smart from Jessie Pilz. I thought she messed
Making
that
it
up.
work. That is so impressive. And that also comes with the experience.
Yeah, didn't panic, did she?
She knew that the block hold was good enough, and then the right foot was quite in a better spot.
I would have been freaking out with that fall, I'll be honest.
I would not go past that clip with that high.
No, it was a long way. I mean, I'm not saying she's not safe, everyone. I'm just saying it would have scared the daylights out of me, but she made it work. And yeah, I think, she made the mistake climbing past the clip, and the way she didn't panic was so impressive. Realised you could just reach down and grab the draw and bring it up to her, which you can do. You can't wait the quick draw, but you can grab it and put it into a position. Good stuff from Jessie. Her final comp of the year. Just one athlete to go here as we watch this replay. Yeah, it's so far away from the quick draw. It would have been huge. It did fall on the slope. I had a lot of time left on the clock then. So the final athlete will cause this crowd to go wild. Seoul walks onto the stage, looking confident as she strides across. She made her first ever Boulder semi-final in Seoul the other day. Couldn't progress from there. But you put good money on her getting into the finals tonight. And listen to that crowd.
Representing Republic of Korea, So-chae-hyun.
And I think a route that would suit her as well, this.
I think the top of the league athlete, especially in female, have quite similar style. A bit slow and steady and very static.
Yeah, so this is a resistance style route. There's not really any big bouldery cruxes in it. I mean, there is a crux, but... Right, those shoe protectors off her feet. She pulls off the ground. Our final athlete for the semi-final is underway. And in about 4.5 hours, we will do the lead final. As we've now discovered, 1 p.m. Central European time, 8 p.m. Seoul time. Co-commentator Nate Nakamura here in the commentary box. Route setter. Japanese team spy. I think you're returning for finals later on as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flowing through these sequences, absolutely no issues from her so far. She gets in a good heel underneath.
It'd be really nice for her home crowd to be watching just herself as the last person to come out in semi-final.
Yeah, and especially after Zhang's early slip.
Yeah.
And these two have been competing together. Remember when she missed the clip in Chamonix and Zhang won instead of her? Well, not instead of her, we never would have known, obviously, but yeah, it was, these two have been climbing together for quite a while, and it's always good to see that. I think they help each other, and Zhang definitely sort of the veteran who can show the way. So she trusts that left toe. Get up, angle change time. In the middle section of this wall, quite long, this middle part before the main head wall.
I think I really love her the problem solving on site. She's been always looking at the next options and trying to find the best positions, because you can only feel it once you're on the wall. Like, you can expect how they're going to be and what it's going to feel like. But sometimes you have to change what you thought it would go, and sometimes you have to like try something completely different. And then she seems to be really bright for that.
Yeah, I think so. She's kind of widens her vision, you know. She can see more than just the holds in front of her.
But in this moves, I'm just going to stay quiet.
Okay, she trusts the volume. This is roundabout where Zhang fell. It's all good at the moment. Right foot on. Yeah, there's any issues with this one. Trusts those feet well and moves through that nervy sequence up towards the white. Final white hold now. And the crux to come. So hopefully she's well rested here. She's climbing her way towards the final. Where's she at now in terms of score?
She is still in 16th.
So a bit of work to do. There we go. Score's shown. She needs to get 34 plus, where lots of athletes have done. Up she comes with the right. This is the moment. Can she do it in front of her home crowd? Struggling just a little bit here, and she's readjusting, which is worrying. Bumps that right hand. No, she doesn't. So
She is still in, I think, because it's 34 plus to get from the first blue pill to the second one. And I think I forgot to mention, but the yellow volume right below the pocket is blocking her need to get into the drop knee to have a better positioning to get to 35 easier.
Well, we'll just wait for that confirmation of the score. We do think with countback it should be enough. This was her down low. There was no issues. Nice moves at the bottom.
But Rosa made it to finals. Is it her first final?
I think it might be for seniors, certainly. Yeah, Rosa Reck, a great performance. We'll get the results in a couple of minutes, or seconds really, as we watch that top four. Yeah, that was the block you said with the right knee.
People who had their left foot on the right side of the fiberglass without the blocker, well, I don't know if that was intended, like made it through to 35.
Yes, it was very sequencey through there with the feet. Well, here are the results then. Sarato and Raku leading the way over Taisai Homa, Shiono Mata, Dohyun Lee, Yuta Imazumi, Paul Jempft and Yoshiki Ogata and Sam Abazu make up our top 8 as they stand. Ao Yurikuzi and Satone push down due to countback. They're in the 35 pluses. And Rosa has been in a final, by the way. She was 4th in Briançon. So her second final, but great from the young athlete. And then Zenta Morishita, such a big Japanese squad, but not all of them making it through. Oscar Baudrin with a good performance down in 17th. Max Berton and Mejdi would have expected a little more from those two, but they are quite a way outside in 19th and 20th. And then down to the bottom, Jonas Yubin Min couldn't do it in front of his home crowd, and Philip Martin perhaps a bit tired, as was Giovanni Placchi. So those are our 26 men in order. We'll look at the women's next. And remember, just top 8. Oh no, we'll see highlights next of some of the action that we saw from before. And an interesting men's route, very cruxy for a while. Only Serato making proper progress through that.
A few were close, but didn't quite get through there.
Absolutely, and the sequence down low burnt a lot of athletes with the toe, and Taiso was looking comfortable at that point. This was up Serato right at the top as the rain falls. You can see it there, luckily not on the wall itself. Came close, adjusted the feet, left foot on the crimp, crossed through.
And paused.
I think we're waiting for the women's results as our drone crosses the sky. Yes, here we go. So, Aimori leads the way, 44. Annie Sanders getting timed out, so that score not atop. Erin McNeese on 41. Jessie Piltz. Rosa Recker, second final for her. Yutong Zhang is in a final. Shen So and Jilu Lo as things stand. So a few draws, 34 plus being a real crux. Helen just outside, countback pushing her from the finals. And that's the case with Mei Kataki as well. And then moving down, Mia Krampel, she can't join her teammates, and neither can Sarah Chopper inside of the top 8. And Zelia Avazu, we saw her slip very low, as did Futaba and Natsuki Tani, all on 27. That danger zone in the middle of the wall, proving problematic for a few. And Michela Smetanova down the bottom, as is Kamina Moroni. Well, that is the end of our semi-final. We will come back for finals later on this evening, the last one of the year, as we look for our podium places. As we see some of these wonderful highlights from the competition, Erin McNeese She had to fight really hard at the top. That sloper and a heel, and she checked the clock, and she did end up getting timed out on that route. Annie Sanders looked like she had finished. We couldn't see the clock at that point, but she got downgraded by a couple of holds, our gold medalist from the other day, making another finals and another chance to get a gold medal. Can she make it 2 out of 2? And Ai Mori, well, she looks impressive down low and impressive up high, pressing her way through. But she also ran out of time near the top sequence, and I don't think gave it 100% on this move here. It didn't matter by that point anyway. She was through and safe. Right, May, thank you for joining me.
Thank you as well.
It's been fun. We will come back for finals later on, everyone. I hope you have a good afternoon, and we will return this evening for the last finals of 2024.